What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Loot Lounge, and for the newcomers out there, welcome to the Loot Lounge. Now, today is going to be a very special episode because the new season is in 2 days, but not only because of that, we actually have a supersized episode, so we have a ton of amazing guests, and you guys are going to meet them very shortly. And we also have some juicy conversations planned for the current season. And then we're also going to be transitioning into the new season, going over some teasers. So like I said, there's lots of juicy conversations that will be sort of occurring throughout today. Now, while we're recording this podcast, there will also probably be some teasers going live. So we're just going to keep an eye out for that. So if you do sort of hear the topics change and transition a little bit, you're going to hear our live, genuine reactions. So that's going to be pretty cool as well. So what we're going to do first up is we're going to introduce our panel, and then we're going to jump into a short mini game, and then we'll get into all of the topics and discussions. So first up, because I always forget them, I'm going to introduce the co-hosts first. So we got Ben and Purex both joining us today. How are you guys going?
Oh, not too bad.
Doing all right, man. How are you?
Pretty good, dude. Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's a
Very
supersized
excited.
episode, so don't be nervous, but
Oh,
be
you're the
nervous.
nervous one.
No? No? And so moving on to our special guest, we've got a boomer returning back for another episode. We've got Clark.
Hi, how's it going?
How are you, Clark?
I'm good, man. Good to be here.
It's good to have you back, dude. And we have another special guest. He was actually put in by Good Works of Clark, so hopefully he lives up to the expectations. We've got my boy Clan joining us.
I hope so. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for having me.
No problem, dude. No problem.
I'm already disappointed.
Clark put in a good word for you, Clem, so you better behave today.
I'm doing my best.
Next up, we have our boy all the way from Australia as well joining us, the crew, the gang. We have Teasers.
Hello, thank you for having me.
No problem, dude. How you feeling?
Yeah, good.
That's good. It's always good to hear you guys that you're happy and excited, so all motivated to start talking about some things.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the guy from the British land. We have FN Law Approved.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem, dude. How you going? You feeling ready?
I am absolutely terrified, but I am so ready. So.
And lastly, last but not least, we have one of the biggest supporters in the community pretty much, supporting Snail, and he helps run a lot of the Good Gamers socials. We have Toaster.
Hello, hello.
How are you, Toaster? You feeling ready, bro?
I am hyped.
Got
Hope
that.
you are the same.
We are. Got that new season hype. So, since you guys know everyone and you've been introduced to everyone, we're just going to do a quick mini game. Now, we did do this previously with an episode with Clark, and what it is going to be, we're going to slightly change it up. So it's kind of like a would you rather. I call it looted up. And essentially, there's not going to be any time limit just because we have such a big panel with us today. What I'm going to do is call out sort of one option or another, and one by one in the VC, you guys can kind of see how you're labeled. So we'll go Ben, Jay, Clark, Kyle, Purex, Tedious, Toaster. Go in that order. And you guys just say which one you prefer. Usually it's a bit more of a fast-paced game, but because we have such a big panel, we're going to just sort of mellow it down a bit. Alrighty. So starting up with Ben, and then we'll move down. Would you rather jungle vines or grind rails?
Jungle vines.
Okay.
I think I'd probably have to agree. I think they're just better, built different.
I agree with that, actually.
Grind rails.
Jungle vines for sure. They're prettier.
True, that's true. He's gone for the aesthetic.
I think I'll go with the jungle vines as well, to be honest.
Nice. We got a little bit of a favorite here.
Vines for sure as well, yeah.
Grind rails, they're nice and bright.
Oh, okay. So there's a bit of a split. All right, this is going to be a big one. Do you guys prefer wilds or mega?
I prefer wilds.
Yeah, wilds, no doubt, 100%.
Wilds, probably.
Mega for sure.
Yeah, Purex, I think I know what your answer
I'll go for mega easily. Yeah.
I reckon mega as well, yeah.
Wilds all the way.
So we're quite evenly split with that one. Wow, okay. All right, so one that I discussed on the Twitter, are you guys team Meowscles or team Fish Stick?
Honestly, Meowscles, I can't stand the fish anymore.
Yeah, I think I'd have to say Meowscles as well. It's just better in most aspects.
I'm going to go team Fish Stick because, like, have you guys seen the buff Fish Stick? We'll talk about him later, but...
Bro, Fish Stick has the greatest glow up in Fortnite history.
For
Okay, if you're
real?
not Team Fish Stick, like something's
100%.
wrong. Come on.
Yeah, but
There
we
was
had to
only
get
one
through
way to go with
bed
Fish Stick.
first.
I'm on Team Fish Stick.
W, let's go.
I'll go with fish stick as well, man. That glow up is too good, man.
You can't pass up the glow up. Like, seriously, it's too good.
Fish stick all the way, 100%.
Yes.
Fish stick steam. Here.
W, let's go.
Love it.
All right. And lastly, we'll do another one just to wrap it up. There's only one right answer, really, but we'll see what you guys do it. Loot llama or a legendary chest?
Oh, legendary chest.
Oh, ouch.
I'd have to say legendary chest.
That's hurting because you guys are on the Loot Lounge podcast and you're choosing the opposite thing, but it's all right.
It's okay. They're going next season anyway, so
Wait, what?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
they were supposed to be vaulted next season. So rest in
Wow,
peace.
that's an
Ouch.
L. But yeah, definitely a legendary
Yeah.
chest for sure.
All right.
Wait, guys, how can you not go llama?
There we go,
Because
Clay.
it's a legendary chest. It gives me a weapon.
Yeah, you can
I
get more from them.
run
now.
away
It's
with all
better
my builds.
value.
A llama gives you joy.
Exactly, Toaster. That's the answer I'm
Does it,
wanting.
though?
And they're just better to
Does it-
find.
As it runs away from you and you shoot it in the head.
Yeah,
that's
it's,
very
like, it's like
joyful.
really annoying. It's like I don't want to chase my loot down, bro. Just like, can I just open it? I already got it. The game's
Just
already
give it to
stressful
me
enough.
already, man. Yeah.
Right.
So we had some wrong answers there, but we'll brush past it.
No, legendary chest, 100%.
I'll go with the llama.
Yes, WPX.
Yeah, man. You know, like I can find a llama. I got all the mats I need. I got all the shields I need. I can find a weapon
Yeah.
anywhere. Anyway.
And they drop a lot of the
Yeah.
anime mythics too, usually. So, well,
Yeah.
especially in this case with the Jujutsu Kaisen stuff, like got
Yeah.
the curse llamas. So we've sort of wrapped that up a little bit. Usually it's rapid fire, but just because we have a large panel, I just wanted to hear a couple of different answers. But what we're going to do is jump straight into the thoughts on the current season. So we're currently in Wilds. We're transitioning in 2 days over to, well, we don't really know it's the actual name, but we're assuming it's going to be Heists. So, but yeah. So what we're going to do is go one by one, and then at the end, we'll do a big discussion. So first off, we're going to start with Ben. So Ben, what was your overall thoughts on the current season based off of like, you can sort of section off a little bit like Battle Pass, gameplay, storyline, and just overall enjoyment. What do you think?
It's my favorite season of this chapter, personally. I really love the new biome. Every time I'm in it, I feel like it's just going on forever, even though it's not like infinite. Yeah, I just find the gameplay to be the best of them all too. And I really love the boomerang thing, even though it's been gone for like half the season and it did come back. I just found that so fun to use, and I really love the mammoth pistol thingy.
Oh, that was
But
so
yeah,
good.
overall, yeah, I think the battle passes are right, but I usually don't really care too much because I just stick with the same skin anyway. But yeah,
Well, I don't think it's better than Oath. Oathband's at the top of my list for Chapter 4 currently, so it didn't beat that, but I do think it was okay. The Battle Pass it wasn't too bad. I can't say there was anything that I was looking to get, but it wasn't the worst. Gameplay, yeah, it was pretty fun. I mean, it would have been nice to have the boomerang all season long, but, you know, you win some, you lose some. And the story was... I think I'd have to put it at a 7 out of 10 at most, because if not for Sloane, I don't think much would have happened this season, and that's sort of the main driving point. So what we got for her wasn't bad. It just could have used a bit more substance. So
Yeah.
it wasn't too bad.
Overall, I think, in my opinion, it's kind of hard. Like, Fortnite Mega and Wilds, to me, are kind of like, they're very equal, but there are certain strong points in other ones. The Battle Pass, for me, I got to agree with you, Jay. It was there was nothing that I really wanted to get from it, like, sort of rush to get. Where there's been previous Battle Passes where I've sort of wanted to reach to tier 100 because it's been like a really good skin. Sorry to all the Transformer fans out there.
Excuse me.
Clark's gonna he's gonna have a go at me after the podcast, so it's fine.
After? No, during.
Yeah, why wait?
But yeah, like I like Era. She was a good skin. There was a couple of hit or misses, but overall, I did feel like Fortnite Mega's Battle Pass was a bit better. Gameplay I had a lot of fun. I like the kinetic boomerang, like Ben said, even though it was vaulted. Controversial, but I kind of like the boomerang the most out of all of the kinetic weapons.
Oh my god.
Like, get a bit of hate.
So
for that.
true.
Wrong? What?
Yes,
Ooh, that is
Clan, I love
controversial.
Clan, you too?
you.
I think I like the hammer the best, but like it's definitely close.
Yes.
I like them both, man.
Okay. You know,
I have fun with the boomerang.
I'm not gonna. I'm just.
Look, I know the boomerang didn't have mobility, but it was just, I don't know, there was something about it satisfying when you like chuck it from a distance and you just get those hits or elims. Like, I don't know, dude. It
Yeah.
was something about it. It was good.
I think I just prefer the mobility out of the other two more, but the boomerang wasn't too bad. It was quite fun to use.
Yeah, I can see your point of view with mobility. If the boomerang had like some sort of teleporting effect, that would be cool. As you like threw it or something,
Ooh.
that'd be sick.
Yeah, actually, that'd be a good mythic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. And overall enjoyment, I thought it was a good season. I'll probably rate it like 6.5, maybe pushing it to a 7. But yeah, overall it was a good season, but it was nothing like spectacular for me. But yeah.
Well, the season overall, it started off real strong. Got everybody excited. Optimus Prime was a fat W. That was exciting. But then I'd say about 3 weeks in, it just kind of started falling off. It got real boring. Summer event. I don't even need to get into all that, but that.
Wait, what event?
Yeah, exactly. The quote unquote the spray paint update, and then what's crazy is it's ending on kind of a high note, right? Like the storyline is kind of giving us something to look forward to, giving us like this ominous presence, this level of mystery and like weight that we haven't had in quite some time. It's not, we're not getting live events, right? But at least they are giving us some kind of mini like in-game event with this whole eclipse thing, which is kind of interesting. Battle Pass, I don't really get too involved in particulars of Battle Passes. This is the only Battle Pass I've ever paid for the whole thing. Like I bought the whole Battle Pass off the start just because Optimus Prime, Transformers fan, make content with it, had to do it. But honestly, outside of Optimus, I haven't really used many of the other skins. It's there. I watched Squatting Dogs podcast yesterday, and the way I think he said it the best way. This season's pretty forgettable.
Yeah.
Like there's not really a whole lot that was added. That was really, I don't know. It's really gonna stick in people's minds, including that mid boomerang that they decided to put in. Out of all the kinetic weapons,
Hey, watch it.
that one, nah, bro, that is the worst kinetic weapon we've had. It added barely any value to the game. Like there's so many other weapons that you could pick up that'll do the same thing but better. And it's
Well,
just,
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree. It's objectively the worst, but I had a lot of fun with it.
That's fine. Like you can have like I'm not saying like it's not fun to use. Like you can it has some utility, I guess, but it's just if I'm gonna pick it up and use it, like why would I use that over like an SMG or the
Yeah, no,
pancake,
I understand.
you know?
I understand.
But anyway, that's my thoughts.
After that comment with the boomerang clan, I just had a little tear roll down our face, but I'm just wiping it away now, so
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just Transformer comments. Watch those, okay?
He's
All right,
gonna
I
come
know
the
for next
boomerang.
time.
I enjoyed the season. I agree that what Clark said it's forgettable, but I also I found the jungle biome fantastic, and it's interesting like how Ben said it feels like it's never ending. That's like a really good way to put it. I'm enjoying myself every single time that I'm in it, but it might end up being forgettable because the jungle biome's like been my favorite that we've had like so far in chapter 4 in terms of map changes. But if it stays next season, then I might just remember next season in the jungle biome, you know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
other than that, there's not too much to really remember for me. But I really enjoyed the flow of the gameplay, the weapons. I mean, the updates were lacking a little bit, but they pulled it together.
So you'd say you're an overall enjoyer of this season?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Purex? I know you might be a bit of a rocky boat for you, but
Look, I'll just give my opinion. I've already given my opinion on this podcast. I wasn't the biggest fan of the season. The thing I liked the most was probably the jungle biome. I thought it was cool. But I wasn't the biggest fan of the boomerang either. I'd say the hammer's probably the best so far. But yeah, there's not really much. The battle pass wasn't that good for me. There's like 2 skins I liked, and yeah, that's about it. I like season 2 the most, by the way.
yeah.
I feel like it had the most consistently good updates compared to all the other seasons.
In terms of pretty much what everyone else is saying about Battle Pass, like to put it into perspective, how little it mattered. I think it's going to be I think I'm at like tier 80 right now. I don't think I'll complete it because I just don't really, play the game because I don't really see much reason to at the moment. Like as the other people have said, like the biome is unique. It does feel like in terms of gameplay, what they've added is good. It's just the updates, as I'm pretty sure Purex said, they weren't consistent. They just sort of chucked some sprays down, went, okay, this is all you're getting. Like, we started off the season really strong, and then it sort of just faded out like many of this chapter's seasons seem to. Like, we start off everyone, and we're like, oh, this is going to be, every season 2's been iconic, and so is this one. And then at the end, we're like, this was underwhelming. And then, oh, season 3 is going to, this biome's awesome and there's so much new stuff. Oh, this was underwhelming. Like, it's kind of the same
Yeah, yeah.
predictable sort of thing. But in terms of the fun things that they have added for gameplay with like the initial updates to begin the season, I think that was awesome. I think the grinds, vines, whatever they're called, I think they're awesome. I think the whole temple puzzle system was really cool. In terms of what was the other thing? Story. I think it's pretty much the same thing I said with updates. Started really strong, ended really strong, but in the middle, sort of just non-existent, which is sort of again a concerning reoccurring pattern. One thing I hated was how they'd give us audio logs, which were like, oh, the island is in danger or something. It's just this really obvious, self-explanatory stuff
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they didn't really need to just relay to us 3 weeks in a row. Yeah, in terms of overall enjoyment, didn't play it much, but the parts that I did, when I was interested, I'd say it was a decent season at best, but yeah, not very memorable.
I feel like everybody's sort of on that same path where it's nothing incredible and spectacular, but it was a decent season. Nothing,
It's not
nothing more than
hated,
that.
yeah. It's not, yeah.
I really love the whole jungle POI. Like, if a jungle doesn't consistently stay somewhere on the map at this point, I'd be sad.
Yeah.
Because the flowers that they added, like the bomb flower, the slurp flower, they were such cool mechanics. I did fall off of a lot of trees. But that aside,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you see Fortnite's recent TikTok that they did? Like they literally made it out of a meme
Yeah.
with the clown.
Yeah.
I felt directly called out by that.
Yeah.
I have more deaths to
Targeted.
trees than players this season, but it's all good fun. The puzzles in the temples, they're really cool. I love solving puzzles, so that's just a really cool mechanic. I don't think that it beats Chapter 4 Season 1. I mean, it's tough to beat the release of a new chapter because everything's brand new and there's just so much content. But as far as beating Season 2 and then, yes, I just think apart from Season 1, it's the best season.
One thing I really did appreciate about this season is the biome itself. Like what Tedious and a lot of you guys said is over a period of sort of it's always that middle part throughout the season, like sort of 4 weeks into about like the last 2 weeks, there's always like a bit of a dry spell with the updates.
Yeah.
I feel like some seasons that's different. I feel like Fortnite do put in more effort in certain seasons than others. But overall, like if you go on that jungle biome, it is so bloody beautiful. Like there is so many nice aspects about it, from the foliage to the big trees, just a little like the flowers and all that, like and the temples and the puzzles, like you guys said. So overall, like even if the content wasn't there, I feel like the biomes have really stepped it up this chapter. Like they're phenomenal. I love them.
Oh, big time.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Would
Yeah.
you say this is the best biome they've ever added?
I
I
reckon.
would definitely say so, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the Japanese one more.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
But that was
I-
so...
It's-
that
I
was
can
so,
say
here's a
why. I
massive
can say
building
why.
with one room. Like,
No, I can say why. The Japanese biome, I feel okay, the jungle biome is just one big jungle, right? So I feel like with the Japanese biome, they added 3 different POIs, but all 3 of them were different Japanese things. So like we had one like
That's fair.
Tokyo City. We had one that was like
I
a
c- yeah,
like
yeah,
a
I can see that.
temple kind of thing. And then we had the spring tree, like cherry blossom stuff. I just thought it was very unique.
So
compared
even
to
though
the
there was
jungle just
one
being a
biome,
jungle.
you felt there was like multiple subsections within the
Yeah.
biome. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
I feel like they were all
I
different
kinda-
POIs.
I kind
That's
of
a
see
good
what he's
point.
saying because the jungle does kind of feel samey, even between like the 3 new POIs that
Yeah,
are there.
yeah.
It's like I
Yeah.
I understand, and I understand what y'all are saying about like how beautiful it is. It is nice, but the issue is like getting third partied in there is insane because there's so many places to hide. So it's just a huge risk anytime you're walking through that area because it's just there's so much cover everywhere with all the foliage.
That's what-
it's insane.
That's what I love about it, though. Like,
Mm.
Well, if you guys hear any
I
beeping,
swear-
Glenn's got some smoke alarms going off. So
Dude, every time.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My finger is right over this mute button. I'm so
He's-
sorry. This
he's
is
sweating.
horrible timing. I know. I was like,
Sorry.
of course, of course.
I love it. Adds a bit of
miss.
spice to the podcast.
Mid sentence.
I know. It'll cut me off right away.
Something that they
But,
can
I w-
anticipate, yeah.
Literally. But what I was saying is, I like the fact that it changes the gameplay a little bit in where somebody could be shooting you from above, somebody could be waiting in a bush. I like that the gameplay changes a little bit in there once I go.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I see
It's
that.
perfect
Yeah,
for 0 builds.
yeah.
I guess there's a high risk, high reward element to that area too, because there's a lot of loot out there as well. Like
That's
those
true.
little mini temple things that like if you have to choose the right statue to open them, and if you choose the wrong one, it just all puts a rift.
Rift,
It sends
yeah.
you through a rift. Those are kind of neat. I like that. I had to admit there was a lot of that put into that
Oh,
location.
definitely. Yeah.
Like there's a
Mhm.
lot of utility to it.
I like the fact that I feel with the jungle biome it felt very layered. So you have the temples that you can go deep underground to like where the puzzles and that were. Then you've got like the waterfalls that kind of step up a little bit when you go up towards what's that place up the top of the jungles? The stack one, tilted stacks or something? Or
Shady Stilts.
yeah,
Shady
that's
Stilts,
it.
okay.
Yeah, like that one's sort of more at the top, and then you go down the waterfall and like it kind of trickles through up into like a bit more of a a lower sort of
ruins,
layer
sort
into the ruins. Yeah. So I did feel
Yeah.
like they had a bit more layering in terms of the jungle biome than it did with the mega biome.
Mm.
But
I
so I feel
also
like there's
love
a
the
little bit more to it.
trees as well.
Mega was just kind of disappointing. It's so weird. Like it's such a nice, well-designed city, but it's just no one wants to land there anymore. Like people
Because
land.
it's aesthetically pleasing, but there's really nothing there. Like
Yeah.
it's sort of just here's a massive
Yeah,
building.
most of the
that looks
buildings are
like
just
it'll be-
solid objects.
Yeah, exactly.
The jungle should just take it over, have like an abandoned, broken down
That
mega
would be
city where
cool.
like half of
Wanted,
it's
yeah.
glowing, half of it's covered in
Yeah.
vines.
That's
That'd
what
be
I
cool.
really
Guys,
wanted.
don't say that, man. Don't say that, please.
Hey,
Like a
just
ruined
collapse
city
the jungle
POI,
a
I
bit
would
more.
love that.
Burn the
wanna
city.
keep my
Future
Japanese
vibes. Oh man, that would be great.
I just want to say, as someone who plays on the highest graphics, the jungle biome looks absolutely
Okay,
incredible.
Cyan. God, it's fine. It's all right.
Okay, no,
Oh
he's
my
got a
god, the
point. He's got
graphics
a
is
point.
so
Graphics
great.
are so good. Did I
He's
mention
got a
the
point, to be
graphics?
fair.
Graphics are so good.
He's got a point there.
He
It
does.
is beautiful.
It is. It is quite, especially when the
It does
sun's
when it's
setting
not
and it
brought up
shines through the
every
trees.
video.
Oh,
The clock
Okay, yeah,
thing.
that's true.
So I'd really love to see the reality biome from last chapter
oh yes.
mixed with the jungle, so we have like a purple and blue
That's
glowing
what I
jungle.
wanted
That would be cool.
Ooh.
That'd
for
be
this
awesome.
season. That's
Clem's
what I
like,
wanted to.
I mean,
come.
Clark's like, You don't like that, Clark?
It's like, do we really want that? Actually, you know, if we got some glowing flowers in there, I guess that'd be kind of cool. And then some of the mushrooms, that would look kind of
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. I just got tired of the reality tree after a while.
True. No.
Just thinking back to
Well,
all
that
but
season
no.
was arguably worse.
No,
The-
no, it wasn't.
Oh.
No,
Yeah, I think
No,
I'd say
no.
Vibing was better.
I would take Vibin over this, hands down.
Really?
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Vibin was
Mhm.
my most like least
There's
favorite
just so
season
much
ever.
more substance to it. Loads more happens.
Vibin gave us more
Wait, no, I
content
just-
for
I'm-
that summer
Can-
update
Yeah.
than this
That's
did.
my point. My bad.
I'm gonna agree with Clint here. I'm gonna agree with him.
I don't know. I know it's a hot take,
It
controversial
wasn't
opinion, but
that
it
bad,
just
but it wasn't good. Like
I like the loot pool better from back then. I like I don't know. It's
I do
The
remember
story
Comparing it to what we have
was-
now, it seems better.
story was better
It seems
than
a
this
lot better.
season.
when it first launched, Purex and I, we were like really riding in Fortnite for that season. Because so I always wanted a magical theme season. Like we didn't really get it, but the biome itself to me was magical. Like I remember I'd always say to like friends, like I would love a biome that has like this magical aspect to it with big mushrooms, waterfalls, and all this. And then literally Vibin gave that to me. So the Vibin season in terms of the biome is my favorite biome ever added to the game. And I'd love to see that on this generation's graphics. Yeah. But the season was fun, but
Through the tree and
like
yeah.
that-
that
just-
would be actually I would be interested to see that as well. There's a lot of some of that older stuff come back on the newer graphics.
that'd really amp it
That
up.
would be nice.
It looked really good.
And then another thing
Yeah.
is, look, we all hate the summer season from Vibin, but let's be honest, it was better than this one.
Oh,
This one-
100%,
This
yeah.
one can't. Yeah, like
Mild.
That's what's crazy. I didn't think that you could make
Yeah,
a
it-
season worse than that one. But it's like
Yeah,
once
exactly.
they did, it's like, wow, we really were given a
Just
lot
take
last
everything
year.
they gave us last time, which was nothing, and just give us a few sprays.
Yeah, in comparison, now it's like hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. There's just no comparison.
that is
That
one
is an-
hell of an
that is an
analogy.
excellent
I love it.
comparison. Well done.
I will take that.
Like I
The
remember
dichotomy between those two things.
I was watching your stream, Clark, and I said to you, I was like, "Oh, what do you think about the summer event coming up?" And you're like, "Oh, well, they obviously learnt from their last mistakes from the last season, and it can't be any worse." But
Yeah.
look what happened.
Obviously.
That aged like milk. Good lord. Teach me to open my mouth. Good.
Asian like sour milk, to be honest.
Epic
Not
never
just normal
failed
milk.
to disappoint us, which is
Watch them do it worse in chapter 5.
Oh my god, I
No,
wouldn't
bro,
even doubt it
see-
at this point.
See that's the thing, right? It's like every chapter, it's like the game has been like progressively degrading, and it's just like when I'm thinking back to when we were complaining back in like chapter 2 season, like, oh my god, it's just more of the same. It's just broken spaceships on the map now, and it's like I would take that
I would,
over
yeah.
the
Yeah.
last two.
That stuff is
chapters.
god tier content for us now. Like if we had
Yes.
that now, that would be god tier content.
Absolutely.
Imagine the chapter 5's updates is the same map with like a spray or something. They're just like
They just
they're
troll us.
they just change the names of POIs and go, "Yep, new map."
They just switch the POIs around on the map, just like just
Bruh.
move things
Someone was
around.
saying that, like Epic said, I can't remember whose video is in. I remember I was watching some video and it said that a new map doesn't always have to coincide with a new chapter or something. And I was just like, That's really
I mean,
concerning.
you
This
could
is
argue
something
that,
Jay
but every
would say.
single new map has come from the end of a chapter, so there's no argument
Yeah,
against
but
Yeah,
it.
Epic
you-
did say that.
Epic said that.
Hmm.
Apparently, I
Wait,
think it
what?
was Jay's video actually.
Damn it, Jay.
As in, not this. That's confusing, but yeah.
Yeah.
This Jay sounds like. I mean, I
Not
haven't
the
spoken to the
Jay
other
he-
Jay, but they kind of sound similar to me
They're
at
both
least.
British.
I just want to say real quick that Khaby Lame just did something with Fortnite. Apparently, the
The
TikTok
guy who
guy.
puts his hands out and doesn't
Yeah,
actually have
he
any
the
talent.
Yep.
Oh wow! Like
yeah
most
he got
TikTokers.
the
Oh.
box with the moon on it.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
What?
Look at
Yep.
look at
And the description says I'm in.
Wait, oh my god, he did.
yeah. The description says
Oh.
I'm in.
Oh,
Wait, so Kato
they're gonna
Thorne's
put
the
him
one
in. They're gonna put him in
initiating the
Fortnite.
hearts.
I
That's gonna
guarantee
be
you.
Oh,
Maybe
that'd
like an
be
emote.
sick.
Maybe like an emote where he's like
I
doing
think-
the hand thing.
I think they might put him in.
Wait,
the
where did
actual
he tweet
game.
this? Am I?
It's not a tweet. It's on TikTok.
I definitely feel like it's an emote.
Yeah, I feel it'll
Yeah,
be
it's
an emote
definitely
where
him.
he's just
He's
raising his
iconic.
hands.
That's
like
gonna
he
be
does.
cool.
I have
though.
no idea. Actually, I have no idea who this person is. I thought it was somebody else, but he's not. Never mind.
He's the
Nah,
guy
he's,
that just put his hands out and took over Charlie, whatever her name is, and yeah.
It'll be next season's This Is Fine emote, pretty much then. That looks
Yeah.
cool
Watch him be like the secret skin or something.
though.
He's a tier 100.
He's Kato Thorne. Imagine that.
Looking forward to Ahsoka or a
this
war
guy.
skin.
Yeah, wait,
No,
this
it's Khaby.
This is who I thought it was. He's the one that's always doing the really. Okay, yeah, he's actually funny.
That'd be kind of cool. We got a little cheeky
I
emote.
really feel like they might give him a skin, but you never know. I mean, they
Yeah, I
gave
mean,
us
we
Mr.
haven't
Beast
gotten
a few
an icon
seasons
skin.
ago.
That would be the first TikTok star to get a skin. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for the rest of TikTok to come to reality zero. That's
Oh,
just what we need.
We're
rest
gonna
of
get
the
like
seven.
Bryce Hall and stuff
Oh,
like that.
please no. Please no.
Oh no!
Don't do that. Don't say that because it will happen.
Oh, God.
Well, the
Addison
amount of
Rae
TikTok
starts like
dances they
flossing.
do.
Oh no, please. Oh, no.
It's like a sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah. Anyway, getting back on track, boys. So that's one thing about this podcast. You guys will probably hear us go off track because like, there's going to be stuff happening live, so which is kind of cool. Before we move on to the new season stuff, what's one thing you guys liked about this season and one thing you hated about this season? And I know hate's a strong word, but we wanted to see what you straight out hated.
I
You
feel
go
like
first,
everyone
Ben.
could have the same answer.
True.
What I
Yeah.
hated,
Yeah. No. What did you like and what did you hate?
I like the graphics. I didn't really hate anything. I didn't like the summer event, but yeah, I don't know. There wasn't anything I necessarily hated and made me go, "Oh, I don't like that."
The jungle is it's beautiful. There's no sort of way around it. It's an amazing biome, and there's a lot to be had with it for story stuff. But I think the one thing that I not hate, but sort of detest, loathe, I don't know what the word would be, but it'd have to be the amount of content this season. It has been borderline bone dry. When I was making the logs thread for Sloane, I counted up how much dialogue she had in total. It's less than 5 minutes of total dialogue across the season. It's just not.
Wow.
Jeez. Wow.
Wait, you
There's not
said
much
whole
substance.
season?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, across the
And
whole
it's
season,
pretty
there's
much
less than
just
5 minutes
reiterating
of
the same.
Sloane. Yeah, it's just saying like, okay, they found some place in the stars. I've got to find out what it means. The glyphs are the clue. I don't know what they mean. It's the same stuff, and it's really nothing sort of quantitative or qualitative for that matter. But yeah, good jungle, bad content.
Yeah. What about you, Clark?
He likes a boomerang.
best weapon.
Team
ever
Boomerang.
in any Fortnite season. I enjoyed the loot pool this season. I thought it was pretty good compared to last season. I liked it a bit more. I like the explosive repeater. I like the fact that they gave us this new version of the pump. I wish the old pump was back, but this will do for now, I guess. Just like Jay was saying over here, I don't know how I feel about from a content perspective. Like, yeah, it didn't really feel like we got a crazy amount. I think but like something I would say I absolutely hated.
I probably shouldn't have said that. Hate's quite a strong word, but
No, not for this season. No, it's not.
this is an exception.
I honestly just think like the summer update they let us down so much. I feel like they're gonna make up for it. Watch me eat my words again. I feel like they're gonna make up for it next season, but it's just like there was just so little. Like literally, the ice cream and spray paint is what we got. It's like here's the crazy thing about the summer update to me. The 2 weeks leading up to it, right? We got a new weapon each week, I believe. Why didn't you just wait until the summer update to give us those weapons.
True.
I just
That's true.
It's just like they could have the update could have been more impactful if they just had shifted certain things around. Also would like to say too, speaking of like lines and not a lot of dialogue, like Optimus Prime's dialogue this season didn't really give us like it started off really cool. It was kind of exciting to hear Peter Cullen's voice, but then like by the third time you heard the lines, it's like this isn't giving us any new context, anything.
It's saying
It's
the same thing.
It's just being
Yeah.
overly cryptic and trying to say the same thing a different way.
He was
It's
very
like,
repetitive in what he said too.
Yeah. So that was kind of boring, but it's cool to hear Peter Cullen's voice.
Can I say that I like the way they're hyping up this next season? I don't know if that counts. Trying to think of something different here.
The build up to
Yeah,
guess.
because I'm
the
really
build-up
enjoying that
counts.
with what they're doing with the apparatus, and on top of
Yeah.
that, I guess I don't know if that counts. Like talking about the teasers that they're putting out, I don't think that counts.
No,
But
you
I
can,
like
'cause
the
it's part
way
of it.
that
Yeah, it's
I
part of the
like
season's
it feels
content.
like the old seasons again when what they're doing right now. So I really,
Yeah.
really, really liked that. But I mean, like I can't say anything different for something I didn't like.
There goes the alarm.
Gosh.
It was so bad for Clem.
Of
I
all
love
the
it.
days,
Sorry.
It wasn't gonna let him.
of all the days for this to happen, it just had to be the day you're doing the pod.
Dude, I can't remember the last time this happened too.
Unbelievable.
I mean, if you ever say a
But yeah,
swear
the
word, at least
summer
you've got a
update.
bleep there, so it's fine.
That's what that sounded like, honestly.
Yeah, the summer update's really the only thing I didn't like. I can't think of anything else about that. What's there to say? Like again, like Clark said, we got ice cream.
Yeah. We love ice cream, but
What
yeah.
more
just-
could you ask for?
What about you, Purex? I feel like you really love this season a lot.
Yeah, man, dude, I loved it. It was the greatest season of all time. Honestly, it's the best thing ever. But I didn't like it. So,
Straight to the point.
so the thing I didn't like. Actually, no. I'll start with what I liked. I liked the Jujutsu Kaisen collab because it's my second favorite anime.
Ooh.
And I didn't like everything else except for the biome.
I enjoyed that mythic.
Wow,
Yes,
Purex, that was very
both.
yeah.
man.
Inside
Short and sweet, dude.
Yeah. That's how you do it, I guess.
Yeah, man. Wait. What? Never mind.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah, what were you gonna say?
Nothing, man. Nothing.
Talk, Purex. All right.
No, it's nothing.
Tell us what you were thinking.
We're going to ask a question.
What about you, Tidius? I'm trying to let it roll on, but I don't want to because if I say it, then somebody talks and I
I'll
cut
be
them off.
quick.
But... No, I don't mean that as in like rolling onto the next person. Like if I say, "Oh, are you ready?" and
No,
then
that's
they start
exactly
talking,
what he
that
meant.
one.
He wants you to hurry up because he doesn't want you to talk to him.
Yeah.
I know my place. It's fine.
Yeah, time's up.
No, I think in terms of what I enjoyed this season, I think the start of it was really strong. I think the not necessarily like I know the aesthetics of the biome, it like looks nice or whatever, but mainly the mechanics for me. I found like just the pacing of games was really fun at the start of the season. Like you would land, usually drop like Rumble Ruins or something. You get through the vaults, go for the rift, then you could go like Loot Island, like Drum Shotty. I found all of that really fun. And I think something that I didn't like is probably I didn't like how sort of sudden the theme of this season felt. Like it sort of felt like we rushed into it with little explanation. Like I agree with what Clem was saying earlier. Like the build up to next season, although it doesn't, well, it's not necessarily clear as to how it's all going to tie in. There's still some build up. Whereas last season, it just kind of felt like we went from Japanese city to cracks in the ground in a jungle. Like it felt very. It's a weird shift, and that's sort of been a reoccurring thing throughout Chapter 4, which I presume they'll fix later on if they realize that it's an issue, but we go from medieval to, there's a city falling out of the sky. And for most people who don't, invest into the actual plot of what's going on, it's sort of like, why is this here? It doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like yeah.
My bad.
No, it's all, I was just going to say that the theme of the season just feels very sudden and rushed, really.
I wanted to add on to that, like, isn't it kind of all odd as well that like 90% of the collabs we got this season felt like they should have been last season?
Oh,
Like,
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Futurama.
Yeah,
That
Futurama
mega
is
city in the
so,
background ain't cutting it.
Like,
I feel like
swear to
they
God,
thought
bro,
that
if they give us
themselves,
One
too.
Piece next season, I'm flipping my table over. Like,
That'd be
are
so
you
funny.
serious?
Or Jurassic Park.
Clark,
yeah,
I honestly
Jurassic
think
Park.
They honestly probably thought that themselves. Every single collab trailer has been in Mega City. Like every single one has been in Mega City. So I
Oh,
feel
I
like
didn't think about that.
That's
yeah,
true.
they
It's like
themselves
they
They need
probably
to
also
milk
thought
it
last
before
season.
Chapter 4 ends.
It's like they couldn't get the licenses for these IPs last season, so they're like, I guess
Yeah,
we'll just push
just
these.
chuck it in, yeah.
forward."
We'll chuck Futurama in the jungle. That works.
But you know what, too? On that note, like they've been bombarding us with so many collabs every season. Like, think last season we had Star Wars, Attack on Titan, Spider-Man, and I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting one, right? But they were like all smushed together, like back to back to back. All like almost all the mythics were all their mythics were in the game at the same time. Like they took Star Wars out right before Spider-Man came in, but like it was just so much. And this season, like it was freaking Terminator. We got Futurama, Terminator, and then WWE and Jujutsu Kaisen were leaked like right when those came out. It's just like, dude, that's like in 2 weeks, that's 4 collabs. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was quite a lot.
I didn't even know about the WWE thing.
Yeah, I kind of blinked and missed that one. I
Oh,
personally
yeah.
didn't. I'm not a big
Yeah.
fan of WWE,
How would they
so
put it-
didn't
how
really
do they
It
put
wasn't
that
too
in
much.
the
It's
game?
just skins in the shop.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Clark, to add to that though, I feel like in season 2 they paced it pretty well because the first update or the first update I don't remember what we got, but that wasn't a collab update. But the second one was Attack on Titan, and then we had point 30, which was Star Wars, and then we had point 40, which was Spider-Man. So all 3 of the updates were still like pretty good and added something to the game, even though they were collab mythics and stuff.
True.
And I
They
love
kept
that
it
they
more
all
fun.
ended up together afterwards. I had a blast like pushing people
Yeah.
away with Obi-Wan and
was
then
really
chasing them
fun.
with the Attack on
That
Titan
was
mythic.
so fun.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, that was fun. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
like that.
In
Like the
terms of
content
collabs,
was so good last season.
Yeah, last season did a lot
was-
better in collabs, I reckon.
very
Agreed.
fun collabs. Yeah.
Yeah, they added like something to the game and like switched up the
Yeah.
meta, which was
Yeah.
really nice. Like,
This
It was
time it
great.
just felt like, hey, you got a medal, Ray, whatever.
It's kinda like
we're
in
gonna
season
reskin the
1.
ray gun.
Right. Ooh.
It was kind of
Last
like in
night,
season 1 of chapter 4 where they had the My Hero Mythic and Dragon Ball Mythic at the same time, so people were
That
like
was fun.
clashing them together and
Oh,
stuff.
Oh,
was
That
pretty
was so
cool.
big.
fun.
I
Yeah.
I loved that.
See, it's those memorable things about those seasons, like the heist update, not the heist, the cold blooded whatever, and like just all those sort of updates throughout the season that I feel like make it memorable. That this one just
Yeah.
lacked.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like this one just missed that, like it didn't have anything memorable.
Like Jujutsu Kaisen, although it was cool, it was no Dragon Ball. It
Mhm.
wasn't anything.
I thought
I
it was
mean,
pretty good, to be honest.
I won't say
It was
Again, I
good,
didn't
but I
play
see
it
what he's
much.
saying.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I
But
like
I'm just judging based off.
I do like the purple hollow attack a bit more than the Kameyamama.
Okay, my
but-
bad. Then.
And I'm a Dragon Ball
The-
fan. I've never watched Jujutsu Kaisen, but I love Dragon Ball. But I have to
Watch it,
admit
bro.
that
It's peak, man.
Does anybody
Oh.
like the Deku Smash the best?
No,
Nope.
Nah, it was kind
I
of.
nobody liked
I
it.
thought it
just
took
too
so long to use.
She's like, please stop. I'm so tired of hearing
It took so
I
long.
Let's get
to
off
use.
my
really
list.
love blowing up houses with it.
Kamehameha halfway across the map. You just feel like, oh,
What did you like, Toaster, and what did you hate this season?
Yeah, just bouncing off the collabs really quick again.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten an icon series in 2
Oh
seasons.
wow, I forgot
But we
about
got
that.
Yeah.
4 of them
Oh.
in
because
season
Clark's
1.
next.
So
Wow.
Or in
definitely
season
want
1.
one of those. Yeah, we had Beast, Flake's Power, I
Two
forget the other
Jans.
2. Oh, Kid Leroy. Yep,
Wow.
and you Johns.
Oh, I forgot about
Jeez, yeah, I forgot about the
Oh
one
yeah,
of that.
Kid Larao. Yeah, that thing.
Laurel.
Kid W.
But yeah,
boy.
something I loved, the bomb flowers. I loved
Yeah, that was fun.
hitting those bomb flowers into people. That amazing
Yeah,
addition.
that's true. Yeah,
Even if you're not aiming for someone, just hitting them is just, I don't know.
it's
Exactly.
satisfying. Yeah, say no to pop.
Or bounces, does like a little trick
Yeah.
shot, like super
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I always hit
And
one
then,
walking by.
and then it's in terms of disliking or hating something, it's one specific element of the loot pool, and that's the snipers this season. Because we started this chapter with one of the best snipers ever, the Hunter Bolt action. I know it's controversial opinion there, but then we started the season with the heavy sniper, and we ended up getting no sniper for the rest of the season. And it just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
yeah.
kind of feel like we need that in the loot pool. The lever doesn't count.
One weapon I really like was the mammoth pistol. I had a lot of fun with that.
Mm.
Agreed.
I really enjoyed it.
Facts. Best pistol in the game. I don't care what anybody says.
I prefer that than the deagle, to be
Yeah, it
honest.
might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the chapter
was
1
playing
deagle
with
was definitely better when you could break builds with it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that automatic one.
Alrighty, so that sort of we've spoke a lot about this current chapter, but the new one's coming up, so we're going to move on to a little bit. What we're going to talk about now is moving on to like...
You mean season?
Sorry, season. I wish we'd gone to a new chapter. What we're
Please
going to
just
start
give us
talking
the-
about is the teasers. So Fortnite is going to announce one in about like 9 minutes, so we're probably going to cut off and
Oh,
go
really?
into it.
They are.
Yep.
Ooh.
But we're going to touch base on. So I did send to you guys in a group chat of the skins. So we're going to talk about the skins first. So one of the first teasers that we got in terms of a battle pass skin was that lady girl. I don't really know how to describe her. The woman on the phone. I don't really know what to call her. But what do you guys think of her?
Boring.
Generic.
Yeah, just a bit okay. Nothing special, but doesn't look too bad.
She's
Sort
It looks like a
one where
battle.
you
It looks
get
like an
and you
item
go,
shop skin.
Okay, cool. I'll archive her. Like
She's just like one of
It
those
looks
filler
very
skins,
gold.
I reckon.
Like
She looks like an item
Yeah.
shop skin.
she's
Yeah.
She does.
tier 1 with more styles to come.
I hope.
That's what she looks like.
Yeah, they'll probably
True,
add
yeah.
some like ridiculous edit style to her. We'll give her like armor or something, and she'll be glowing and fly into the sky. It'll be ridiculous.
what?
Imagine that.
They've done that. Like, what was it? Remember? Oh my god! Remember the other moon skin, the other moon chick that we got? What was it?
Celine.
Celine.
Who? They just chucked
Yeah.
a crescent on her eyes and goes, "Yep, there you go."
She like her glider was like, oh my god, her glider was a crescent moon. Tedious.
That was cool.
lore.
Mm.
Make a new video,
Okay, we'll
tedious.
get
Come on.
into the lore. I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying to keep up with
Try
all
harder.
the teasers. I'm trying very hard. I got exams. I got teasers. I got to balance
He's
it
a busy
all.
man. But no, like, so you guys just think she's pretty just generic and that, like you said, Toaster, I hope that she has like progressive styles. Hopefully, like she's a tier 1 skin, and then we get some cool stuff out of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Definitely
sure
the
it'll just be
sweat
a
skin.
base style.
Yeah,
I feel like she'll be like the generic tier 20 skin that nobody uses. Like they
Yeah,
just
she's
skip
she's
over.
no buff fish stick at all.
Yeah.
Like,
She's a filler for sure.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the heisted? So this, I've seen a bit of like split with this heisted dude. You know, the guy that has the cloak and stuff. Some people are saying that he might be a boss strictly, or some people are saying he could be a battle pass skin plus a
Heisted
boss.
dude.
What do you guys reckon?
diamond, whatever. Is
Yeah,
that the
Yeah, I
one?
think he
Diamond
could be
Dealer.
both.
That's it.
I need to
He
see
looks
him.
more like
Okay.
just a henchman.
Mr.
Because he's
Oh,
he's a
JOI.
part of the-
They said
he's a part of the team.
high card boss at the towers. That's probably him, I would assume.
Yeah.
I really hope he's not a skin. I really hope he's not.
Maybe crew pack.
Well, yeah, he's
Maybe
part of the
he
team.
looks so
Oh,
generic.
no.
He
Maybe
looks
crew
so
pack.
generic.
It's not
But he's
bad.
got a diamond on his visor, dude. Come on.
But nobody can
Why
see the
not
diamond in
Nox?
game, man.
But it's
He looks
there,
fancy,
though.
man. It's about the
This
Oh,
reminds
class.
me
it's
of
like
the times
reactive
where-
with emotes. The diamond moves.
Right?
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't see it, but except when you're in the lobby.
I think I don't know who said it, but about the high card boss. I feel like he just might be like that. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
just have him as
Yes.
just a boss on the map.
Mr. JOY was on Twitter was saying that it might be the drippy dippy black guy skin. that
Oh
we got.
yes, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
That'd be
From,
cool.
like one of the survey skins. Yeah, if it's him, like, and this is like one of his edit styles, like I'm here for that. That would be
Yeah.
cool.
I'm down
I
for
would
that.
really
Yeah,
want
that'd be
that
cool.
skin.
See, that's the
But
thing with
there's
the
some similarities in the designs
yeah.
with the diamonds. And
With a
all
lot
that.
of these teasers, I find that they're showing us the most basic versions of those skins. From a
But we
marketing
sort of think that every season, don't we?
true,
Jake,
but
you're setting yourself up
Yeah.
for failure if these skins actually.
I
do
know, but
suck,
like
Jake.
from
Come on.
from a marketing
be
standpoint,
underwhelming.
I would have loved
Just
to have shown like
accept
the full cool outfit just to hype it up a bit, but I don't know, maybe
No,
they're
but
just
that's
starting.
spoilers. I think it's better to have like this sort of
Yeah,
not. I feel like silhouette like stuff is better
Yeah.
because I hated the point building up to this season, which is funnily enough underwhelming. But the teasers were just they're not teasers. They're hey, here's the battle pass leak that Hypex could have given you, but we're gonna give you it and call it a teaser. It's like that's not a teaser. What we're getting now is teasers. Because they're sort of
Yeah.
giving us hints and they're like, you have to piece together what's going on, and everyone's theorizing and coming up with different stuff. And we could all be wrong, but it's really fun in the moment, you know?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like what last season they just gave us like the whole battle pass lineup. Same with the mega season as well. Hey, like they just
Well, yeah, that was
Straight up
not their
showed it.
intention.
I don't know.
Okay.
I hate that. I
Same.
love what they're doing right now.
yeah.
same.
It gives
Touch
that
wood,
element of
there's no leaks.
surprise.
Come on, please.
That's why I like Paradise's teasers because
Mm-hmm.
you could tell, or you could go to the survey skins, but for the most part, you didn't really know, and that was what was great about it.
Yes.
Mm. Yeah.
This build up reminds me a lot of Paradise, and that's why it's so exciting. Like this is, I remember when the Paradise leaks were coming on, everybody was like doing backflips on the internet because it was just so exciting. Like, well, oh my god, what does it mean with this Chrome kind of thing, right? This is a similar situation, right? Like this is a bit more straightforward than the Chrome, like the ominous Chrome teasers. However, like the way that they're building this up is just I feel like it's perfect. And the thing here's the other thing too, right? That I've noticed. I feel like I said this on stream last night too. These leaks, or not leaks, these teasers are more significant. I think people are more excited about these than Paradise because this time around we know that this is the last season for this chapter. So there's a lot riding on this season right now. Back when Paradise came around, we didn't know that we weren't sure if this was going to be the last if that was going to be the last season or not. So like I think but like the anticipation of this being like the last season of the chapter, you know, and everything being like super ominous, I think it's gotten like everybody a little bit more excited than normal. And it's been cool to be a part of the community because it feels like everybody's got something to like rally behind together, like to get excited about. Like I haven't seen everybody unanimously this excited like in a long time. Like this is great.
It's a good point.
Yeah,
We've
it's-
never actually known, like going into a season, that it's the last of the chapter before. I think.
Yeah, it's really nice to see, but I do actually disagree with the first part that you said. I kind
Excuse
of
me?
think that people are getting so
How dare you disagree?
I think people are
disagree
getting
with
so
Clark.
hyped up because it's similar to Chapter 2, Season 2, which everybody loved. I thought that's why
Yeah.
everybody was getting more hyped up. I don't know if it's
That's
necessarily
part
like
of-
the
Right
Yeah,
on.
that's right. Be
This is
quiet.
cruel.
Yeah.
This is just
Content.
cruel.
Fun fact, I'm actually hitting the button to set off the alarm.
Clark's got the big red
Twist.
button.
Disagree with me, will ya? Beep.
You got me at the last word. At the last word.
It's literally only every time you talk to. It's so wild.
Someone's out to get him for sure.
Oh man.
Someone's watching me.
It's Clint. He doesn't want you saying anything that's against him.
Yeah, you're already talking too much. No, I'm just joking. Keep going, bro.
But yeah, the only other word I had to say was chapter. The end of the
Oh,
chapter.
okay.
Fair enough.
Inspiring words, truly.
All I was gonna say was I agree that people are also excited because it's a heisted update, because historically heisted updates or seasons have been some of the most fun, and with the monotony that the game's given us for like the last 2 seasons, this is looking the most exciting. But I think that what I'm saying is I think 2 things can be true at the same time. Like I agree with what you're saying, Clint, but also on top of that, with all the other things like going on, like this is let me put it this way. If they had have done what they did last season, right? And we're like, here's the entire battle pass. Here's everything in the new, but this is what the new biome looks like. Here's the collab. People wouldn't be as excited. Yes, people are excited because it's a heist season, but they're also excited because it's very cryptic in how it's being presented. And there's also that in conjunction with like the lunar eclipse too, that's going on the like that whole thing going on the map right now. Plus this syndicate or whatever, whoever they are, they seem to be tied to the moon some kind of way. Like it adds an extra layer of mystery to it. Like how are you gonna tie a heisted theme into a like lunar eclipse, which is kind of teasing the last reality? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did I comment on that?
100%.
No. Yes.
No, fine. Damn. All right. I was gonna say with the whole heisted and what is it, lunar eclipse sort of theme. I've thought of I think there is ways that can tie together. Because if
Uh-oh.
you remember, I need to go into theory territory.
Buckle up, boys. Fortnite theory time. Let's
Here we
do
go.
it.
I'm sorry for the people who don't know. I know Jay is gonna know all of this. I assume he will, because I see the Twitter posts. I'm like, surely. But if you think back, I think it was the first quest set of this season. There was the Chalice of Cube. I'm not even gonna say that. It's horrible.
The Chalice of
But-
Cube-tastrophe.
I don't know why they.
That name, though.
It's
It's
so
called
cringe.
the Cube Chalice, but anyways.
Okay, can I just cut you guys off? There is a new teaser. There is a new teaser of a new skin.
Oh,
Wait, is that
okay.
is that Khaby?
And it's
Where?
Clappy, or Cappy, whatever his name is. It is him. He is getting a skin.
Cappy? Who's
The,
Oh my
the
God.
Wait,
TikTok
is he?
dude. He's getting a
The
skin.
TikTok guy.
What
He
did
is
I
getting
just
a
say?
skin.
We were just
What?
What did I just say?
What?
You didn't believe me. I
That's
called it.
goated.
Sorry, Clint, man.
We
We
apologize.
You
We
should be.
apologize.
Their
Yep.
Icon series.
Jeez.
Sick. I love that.
No
That's
way.
awesome.
I'm watching him open the box right now.
No way.
That's
Wait, did he
really
post
cool.
on
Oh my
TikTok?
god.
That's hilarious.
That's sick. And he was the one that found the box. That's sick. I love that.
What does
That's
it
so
say?
funny that we were just
Is he-
talking about that.
oh, is he being added to Kato Thorn's collection here? What's going on?
What?
That's all he is. He's just gonna be put on the map. Just in some room.
He's gonna be in one of the glass cases.
Yeah.
He's just there, frozen in that pose.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope
His
this is not going to
statue.
be a Neymar situation because I feel like Neymar was such a like.
What should be the secret? What should be like the
yeah,
underlying
that's what I'm
secret skin
hoping.
that this season was?
If it's the secret skin, it's 2 misses in a row. Like,
Oh god.
Bro,
We don't
secret
know.
skins aren't even secrets anymore.
It's just
bro.
like a
Exactly.
bonus.
yeah, they're
skin,
just
yeah.
bonus skins.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's
an
just
Yeah,
bonus
it's
skins.
bonus skin.
Is
It's,
it-
if it was
honestly,
secret skin, I'd be upset.
Isn't even a bonus skin. It's like we know every battle pass is gonna have what, like with the quote unquote secret skin
It's a
9.
bonus that you get every time.
It's just like okay,
Yeah,
like,
you're
it's
right,
Epic. We
yeah.
know it's coming. It's just like all right, this is just a nice skin I have to wait for. No, thanks, Epic.
God.
I think it's pretty cool. Like I reckon this is kind of cool having him as a skin.
It's
I like
cool,
it.
but
That
I'm
hypes
scared
me
it's
up.
going
I
to be a
really like
wet
that.
fart of a season right
Yeah.
now. I just
Okay, but then they'd have 4 of those in a row. Like we can't. That
Oh,
can't
wow.
be.
yeah, keep up the
Oh,
kill
I actually see the
streak.
skin
You know,
here.
it's Epic
Oh.
Games.
I mean, it is the end of the chapter, so maybe the secret skin will have something to do, like the Herald or the Cube Queen.
Nah,
I
I feel
love
like
your
this is
copium.
battle
I
pass.
wish
The third
I wish I could
triarch is
buff as much
Khaby Lame.
copium as you.
Confirmed.
Based.
The what?
The third
the
triarch
third.
is Khaby Lame. Oh,
The
I didn't say that right at all.
God, I'm sorry, guys, but I don't like that.
I love it.
What you don't
That's
like? You don't like?
That's
you don't like what?
hilarious.
I'm not a
It-
fan.
You don't like that an
Is it
icon skin
fun?
is being a part of the battle pass?
yeah, I don't like it when icon
I
skins
just
are
don't
part of
like
the
this.
battle pass.
Just don't like
And the
it.
guy-
Very,
Makes sense.
very weird looking skin.
Just to
It's
kind
really cool when they do this, but I think everybody would like it so much more if it wasn't in the pass.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Yeah, then it could come back.
Everyone
I
in
just
the
don't
comments
like-
aren't
yeah.
agreeing with it. They're not overly hyped. So
Yeah,
especially in the
I
battle
don't know,
pass.
It's just like
I
it
love
just
it.
feels gimmicky at this point. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna do like Neymar, and Neymar was not a
guarantee there's
success
gonna
in
be
my
some-
opinion.
There's gonna
You've
be
got a
some
50-50
crazy-
split so far. You've got
Yeah.
buff fish stick and Khaby, and then you've got average looking woman and buff looking high card. I don't know. It's
There's
not
a
looking
lot
too
of
bad.
buff
But
here.
I wonder if the
There
emote
is.
will be built in, or if it's gonna be something that
Surely
you
in
can
like
use
the
on any
cinematic
outfit.
trailer, there's some crazy thing going on in the background, like the cradle's pulling up and he's just standing there doing that.
That'd be cool.
On the
Bro.
cradle.
That has
Kato
to
The crowd
Thorn
happen.
is
Kato
wild.
Thorn just looks over to his left and it's like,
And just
what the?
just takes him. Just chucks
well,
him in
that just
place.
happened.
I'm gonna say my opinion on the battle pass so
That-
far.
oh,
I
yeah,
think
that's
it's
a
the
good
worst
idea.
so
Yeah.
far. So far, I think it's the worst of the chapter.
Really?
Yeah, so far.
After this season, this season, was
I feel
horrible.
like this season had Era and like Optimus Prime, and so far I feel like all the skins we've seen
Based.
have been mid.
How do you
I think
guys
it
feel
depends on the
about
different
it?
styles.
Do you
In
think
fairness,
so far
it
it's
could
crappy,
be a
or-
Doomslayer thing. Like it could be he's like tier 4. I can't remember what tier Doomslayer was, but
That would be
it could be
ideal.
like that. So fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
No, I
What?
actually kind of like that. I know everyone's
yeah,
like
it-
against me here, but I kind of like it.
Well,
Not
it reserves
against me.
space for a tier
Yeah.
100 or bonus skin, so I'm gonna hope. But
I don't know. Like
I'm also
I'll wait.
excited
I'll
for
wait
sure.
to. I'll wait to really judge it. Of course.
Yeah,
but,
I'm the
Yeah.
same.
Now,
Flash,
do,
yeah.
do we get 8 more teasers like we did last time, or is it just?
I hope they don't show all the skins. I beg.
I think Epic can
please.
calm
Same.
down on the
So-
teasers now. Like, I don't
Yeah.
need anymore. Please stop.
Just-
Yeah, we
Like,
have
I
more than
haven't-
enough.
Yeah.
I might just delete Twitter because I don't want to be spoiled. That's what I did last season. Even
No,
though,
dude, you're
and then
gonna.
and then I got DM'd videos of like, hey, here's a video
Yeah,
showing us
that-
through the biome. It's like, cheers. That's what I really
Yeah.
wanted.
Oh my god, that happens to me too.
They're like, hey, Teasers, here's all the information about next season. Cheers.
Dude,
That's exactly what I didn't
Thank-
want
yeah,
to
and
see.
Thanks for the heads
Well,
up.
It's not even like it's not even like a high thing either. It's just here.
Yeah.
hey.
It's like
Just shove it in your face.
Yeah, I used to like completely stay off Twitter and stuff because I like to be surprised. Even like I even wait to like I used to not even make content on like the new teasers, but now I just
I
gave
do
up
that
trying to
still.
stay away from them.
Yeah. So what do we
Oh,
got?
as in
impossible.
I'm just gonna wait until the
Wow.
content teasers later on because I'm sure they'll deliver something better.
So we got Khaby, we got the possible diamond dealer, whether he's a boss or not. We got buff fish stick, and then we got girl on phone. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
We have to wait to
I
judge.
Janet.
don't see the other
Pretty mid.
cosmetics. Like, I feel like the battle pass to me at this point, since I always wear the same skin, is a lot about the pickaxes and the gliders and the wraps.
To pair up with
So
the
those
skins
could
and
be
stuff,
really
yeah.
good like they were this
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, there's a lot they could do. Plus, if it's like close to like even a spy theme, if they do something like the Ghost vs Shadow thing again, that could help it, in my opinion.
I'd like to see that. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it
That'd
might
be
be
really
the
cool.
syndicates versus this group potentially. This Moon group.
I know some people online have been talking about like if it's like a heist theme or even a last reality, like just to make them that much
I
separate.
think I want to have the
Well,
heist.
yeah.
I think the heist, like Kato's faction, is most likely linked to the last reality because their logo is on what's the name, Sunny's vest, who was like the main Chimera support. I think that's what I reckon's going on. Like their,
I mean, that logo was also on the guy from Chapter 3, Season 1,
Ronan?
the Ronin guy.
yeah, Order
Yeah,
of the
he was,
Waning
like,
Moon
filled
is
with
possibly
it.
like a subfaction of the last reality, and they're like awaiting the eclipse. I reckon they're
Yeah.
holding powerful, like the chalice. I reckon they're holding. I reckon after Dahlia placed it underground, and then the jungle collapsed, it wasn't a good place to hide it anymore because it was exposed, and now the mansion's coming to the island basically to store powerful weapons for the last reality. That's what I
Wait,
reckon.
did you say Dahlia hid it underground?
It's actually a good theory.
Well, Dahlia,
It's so confusing. How
Dahlia
that works.
brought
It
it
doesn't
through the
make
Rift
sense.
Gate, and then we found it in season 3 in the temples, meaning she had to have put it underground.
But here's
Well,
the
then
issue with that though.
she must have left it there in between season 2 and 3.
Why?
Unless she got like one of Io's drills and just decided to drill down there and leave it.
Yeah,
Couldn't
why wouldn't-
In
Serenade's
which case,
monoliths
fair
go underground or something like that? I don't know.
It's
I
that's
don't
so
know.
weird to me that she would. So you mean to tell me that rather than the chalice of Cube-tastrophe, God, that's such an awkward name. Why it just
Cube chalice.
instead of it just like actually being an artifact that was left there, right, by the other civilization, you're trying to tell me that while the island was still completely put together and no one knew that there was anything underneath it, this chick came through the rift gate all the way back in
Constructed underground.
in season 1 with the chalice, went underground before even before Megacity popped up, right? So she went under. So this would be before the cracks even popped up. So she went
Yeah.
underground and put it there. How?
It's
It's
like
just
a
smart.
Yeah,
Just built
it's like,
different.
you know, what was the analogy that someone used? It was like key under the door. It's like you're leaving. Well, is it key under the doormat? Is that what it is? I don't know. But
it's like, how would she know?
It's you're
that-
leaving it there in space that is accessible enough to get to. I don't know how.
So
I don't know
she
how
found,
she
the
got
other thing
there.
is too, she found a way down there to get down there and get out, but Sloane couldn't find a way out that entire time until the island caved in.
They used to Fortnite.
Well, that's
so
why I
doesn't
think it
make
has to be
sense.
between season 2 and 3, in the sense that the jungle
well,
was revealed and then
either
she
way,
put
I
it in
think
there.
this theory still stands. I think it's highly possible.
But okay, if she did it between seasons 2 and
All right.
but,
Well,
like,
at least Clan agrees with me. I'm happy.
Yeah, no, that sounds right to me.
That's a W. in
Glenn
my
agrees.
book.
That's a good news.
If Glenn agrees, it's
I
fine.
like Clan. He's good.
makes total sense.
Can we also talk about the fact that Ahsoka, what happened to her?
Yeah,
Is she
bro,
gonna,
I'm
is there
sad.
gonna
Oh my
be
God,
two?
no.
Please.
Who?
Is there gonna be
if
two
there's gonna be
collab
one
skins?
collab in the battle pass, that's what I want.
Same.
What are we
Glenn.
talking
I mean, season 1 did it, so
Ahsoka.
Yeah.
What's in it? What?
She needs-
Ahsoka,
she
she's
needs
like
to
a
be in the
Star
battle
Wars
pass.
You
Star
just
Wars
really
person.
upset me there.
One at a
Actually, I know
time.
you don't. My bad.
What?
If
Who's
there's one
Ahsoka?
Star Wars character, it's a Star Wars character from
Oh,
Clone Wars,
that's
pretty
why.
much. But
Yeah.
there's a new
I'll
show
put it
coming
in
out
the
with her.
chat.
And the new season
Okay.
or the new show literally came out today, so it would have matched up
Yep.
so perfect, bro. Sad.
Yeah.
And a huge theme of this series
Oh.
is the kind of astral
Yeah,
projection,
yep.
like the star patterns, which is currently in the sky. So
But
I don't
maybe they'll
know.
follow the same pattern. and Ahsoka will come
That's
next
why her
season. Would it
collab
make
with
sense
the
for her to come this
Senate.
season?
What's the telescope for? I'm
That's what I want to talk about. Yeah, like, how do you guys feel knowing that there's this astral telescope projecting up into the sky, and then this heist theme just appears randomly? Were you guys
Well, I've
thrown
already
off by that?
explained pretty much
yeah,
my part.
it feels like they did a U-turn.
Yeah.
I know a lot of
Yeah,
people are
it's
talking
it's
about like
connected.
we'll have to have a heist on the cube cradle. That's what it might build up to.
No, but it's a heist of. No, I reckon it's building up to the arrival of the cube cradle, and Kato Thorne's got all the like he's storing all the stuff for the last reality, and that's
Yeah, that
why
could work
his
too.
logo, and that's why his logo's the eclipse, because it's essentially it's like awaiting or anticipating, sorry, the arrival of the cube cradle, which will cause the eclipse. That's my standing theory. I reckon
It's so
that's
exciting.
That or they're storing up the weapons to fight off the last reality. Those are the.
Why would
That's
their logo
possible.
be the? Oh, okay, no, that's fair.
Are we thinking a Galactus situation with the cube
No.
cradle? Like it's
Oh
gonna
yes,
slowly
yes. I
start
thought you
coming
meant
in more and
Galactus.
more.
I hope
Oh,
so.
I've seen that in
Yeah,
Clone video. I
I'm
was
still
like,
not. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not
I know,
completely
I saw-
counting that out.
I just despise Marvel, so I was like, no.
Oh no, I just meant like slowly coming closer and closer throughout the season,
Well,
leading
that
to
could
an
work
event
now
at the
because we don't
end.
have like a bubble around the. Although I don't think they really care.
I found
Who
it
knows,
fun
they
too, like
might,
always
they
looking
might.
there was something in the sky every
Yeah, I
single
like
time,
that.
and it was kept getting bigger throughout the
Mhm.
season.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what the apparatus is. I wish as the object got closer on the projection, it got closer to the island
That'd be
in the
cool.
sky.
You could see it, yeah.
It'd be
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, but
Like-
we don't
But
get
yeah,
cool stuff like that
I'd say
anymore.
that
so.
whole Kato's probably he's either storing weapons for a fight that involves the last reality. I'd only say he's on their side because of the whole Sunny thing and the fact that we're sort of stealing from him. It looks like
So wait, hold on a second. Sunny, what is Sunny's connection to? What does it Sunny have to do with any of this?
So
It's because
Sunny-
she's got an eclipse on her jacket. Like she's got a red
Yeah.
eclipse.
But hold on, but she had no idea who the last reality was.
Yes, she did. She's
Yeah,
a
that's the
yeah.
thing.
supporter.
Hold
Exactly.
on a second. She didn't have any idea who the last reality was until after they showed up on the island, right? But she had that moon on her jacket before the fact, correct?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then there's no
Nah,
correlation there.
maybe it
I
was a
love
new
hearing the
jacket.
small stuff.
Maybe it was a new jacket. So okay,
Maybe the last
maybe it's a
reality
new
gave it to
jacket.
her.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You see what I'm saying though? Like that doesn't make sense.
It's
so
nitpicky.
she had a moon, so she has a moon on her jacket that she had before the last reality even popped up. But now the last reality popped up, so it must be a last reality connection.
100%.
Like,
Confirmed.
just-
Yeah, I don't think
I-
everything has to connect like that. It's just a cool thing to point out. It doesn't mean anything in hindsight. It's
Yeah.
just sort
Okay.
of there.
Well,
It's-
theory still stands. I'm standing by until the new
L,
season
Stand
completely
strong,
disproves it.
guys.
I don't know the
Me and the
here's
three
the
people on Twitter that agree with me. All right.
here's the worst case scenario with this whole eclipse thing, right? Because I always thought it was a beacon.
Disconnected.
I thought what?
I said the worst case is that they're completely disconnected.
Yeah, the worst case scenario is like, okay, like they're building up to like this whole eclipse thing, and then like no eclipse happens at all, and then we just have like a heisted theme,
Oh,
and then like
Oh.
they
Wouldn't be
don't,
like Fortnite
they don't,
whatsoever.
they don't have 80. Like we just like we have the whole heisted thing, like we're going around stealing crap and just grabbing Midas's drum gun and shooting each other, and then like the chapter
Isn't there
ends
a
some other
movie
kind of
where
way.
They steal the moon.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
Despicable Me.
it's a collab with Gru.
It's a collab with Gru, 100%.
no.
One X
He's
Despicable
Kato
Me.
Thorne, 100% confirmed.
No, but the
what?
apparatus
That story
projection, it
could
doesn't
add
have an
up.
eclipse. Like,
No, it
there's no
could not.
eclipse there
What do
right
you
now. There's
mean?
nothing blocking it.
He could take everything. Like he's always been stealing stuff and had like whatever in the movies. He has like his big collection of stuff. They made a big
All
part
right,
about
Glenn,
stealing
that's the
stuff.
next video. I want to see it.
Based.
The thing we all forgot about, Gru.
I mean, like I don't think it'll happen, but I'm saying that adds up. It really does.
That'd be
Yeah.
funny.
All right, so you know how like the so-called moon and stuff, like this eclipsing. What my impression was, right, that I think it's probably going to be wrong, but I thought originally that all these POIs are going to arrive on the moon. It's going to crash onto the island. Does that sound stupid or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the exact idea.
Thanks, man.
As a certified Fortnite theorist, you're wrong. No, I'm sorry.
You're incorrect.
I think because of the high possibility of it being the cube cradle, I think probably not. I mean, maybe that is like parts of it land on the island, but then again,
Listen,
that would be a
guys,
crash, not really an eclipse.
The
you know?
Ice King's coming back with the moon. He's gonna crash it into the cube cradle, and they're both gonna crash on the island, and then we're gonna have
and
to
then the moon's
heist all
gonna
the.
explode, and everything's gonna.
And then the next season's gonna be us, like the island's gonna be us floating on asteroids, with the 0 point in the middle. It's gonna be great.
And then we're
Yo,
gonna
then
collect
the
better than the
seven
Ice King.
returns.
So there's gonna
Yeah.
be asteroids with a 0 point in the middle, and we're gonna collect fragments for 40 minutes, and then
Based.
everyone's gonna call it a day.
It's
W
gonna be
event.
Best
Fractured
event ever.
2.0.
Oh,
that's
no.
What the sec- that's what the sec-
Fractured the
that's what
remix.
That's what the Lego update is. We actually have to piece together.
You gotta
We have to
build it, yeah.
Become a master builder.
Yeah.
Oh God, you got to rebuild the Fortnite. And wow, imagine Chapter 5 was just
Build
like
your new
Lego themed
island.
the entire
Oh,
time.
no.
please
No
no.
thanks.
Imagine we end chapter 4 on a map that's completely made of Lego.
Oh no.
That
See,
shit would be so.
You know
Hey, at
what's
least we
crazy?
can get another Batman skin, right? Lego Batman.
Lego
They could do the
oh,
like
yeah.
John Wick trailer thing where they had the Reaper and John Wick, but they have Batman and Lego Batman. They should totally do that. That'll be awesome.
You know what I'm thinking about with like all of this craziness going on, either like this being the
Minus.
last season, this being a heisted event. How in the world, like, what? Okay, let me actually rephrase it. What are they going to do to set us up for some kind of big end of season event that's gonna ultimately, or sorry, end of chapter event, but is gonna ultimately cause us to get a whole new island? Like
New
we've already been
Well, the
pulled
0
through.
point's going to be
Sloan-
destabilizing, of
Sloan's
course.
plans. That's
Oh, well,
exactly
that's
what
what
it
it
is.
is.
sounds so
Shocking.
unique.
Wait,
0 point's destabilizing again?
They've never done
Yeah.
that before, have they?
That's
Wow,
so
that's
new.
Guys, the
totally
island
new.
is in
Season X
danger.
is here.
We need a new map.
I was just about to say that.
This
I
reality
know.
is doomed to collapse. It's like
It is.
you know,
And the world is
Wow.
destabilizing.
Such a coincidence that was doomed to collapse last year and the year before.
and the year before that, and the year before
yeah.
that. It's like,
But
dude,
it's okay
like
because Jonesy is coming and he's collecting all the hunters. You know, we're all good.
Joe, that's right. Jonesy probably is coming back.
Nah,
Yeah.
bro, Epic won't pay it off. They'll go, the 7 are
Well,
dead. Jonesy's
We
dead.
thought it was
everyone's
with
dead.
Sloan.
I know
Like the
I've
part
seen
four
some
of
people
Yogi
talking online about Jones and the Paradigm, like for the theory about
What?
the Ice Moon coming instead of the Cradle. Jones and the Paradigm are up there, and they're coming with the Ice Moon
Jones
somehow.
came to the island.
But
He's not on the
yeah,
island.
so
No,
did
he-
Paradigm
he-
too. She left a final message.
Jones is
Hold
on the
on.
island right now.
Yeah,
Where?
because
Yeah.
in the
you
fracture
sure?
event he was on the couch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
he
the
was-
couch in space.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
bad.
coming
Okay.
towards the island.
Yeah,
He's
no,
not on the island.
I mean,
He
who
was
knows at
floating
this point? He's
towards the
either
island.
with us or he isn't.
What? I'm lost.
What are we
We
talking
know
about?
the Seven has that whole setup on the Ice Moon. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, fair
Yeah,
enough.
but it's uninhabitable. Like they can't
Yeah,
get
well,
up.
hold on,
The
we're
whole
not
reason they
near-
got there in Zero War was because of Thor and Storm. That was the only reason they could sustain an environment there, which was
Based.
ruined by Zero War. But
Alright,
You're
I'm
right.
telling you,
Also-
cleanse
also
right,
we're-
Galactus collab again.
Also, we're
It
nowhere
could
as far
happen.
as far as I can see, we're nowhere near that Ice Moon anymore either. Like we're in a
Yeah.
totally different part of the
Mm,
universe
yeah,
now.
Well,
yeah,
it's
the
the
Zero
same,
Point just sort of
it's the
fades and
same
teleported.
reality, but it's a different.
Part of the universe, yeah, yeah.
I thought you said
It's like
something else,
we
my
like
bad.
move solar systems or something. Like I don't know. The 0 point just started grabbing crap and grabbing us. It's like, hey,
I
bro,
don't
we're
know
out of
how.
here.
I don't know why. If it could just teleport, why wouldn't it have moved away from all the, like?
Because it was comfortable, tedious. Okay, imagine.
My
You know
bad,
how
I'm
when
sorry.
you know in the
It was
morning when
snug.
you're cozy in bed, but you have to pee. You don't like feel like getting up. That's the 0 point all the
All
time.
bit.
It's like, we're getting attacked by the last reality again. Like I could teleport me, the island, and everyone here, but I'm just so
was gonna
nice.
stay,
and
So the
comfy
0
in my
Point
little
just peed in
bubble.
its bed. Really, is that it?
Yeah, well, I
Just
mean,
pees in bed
basically,
every
yeah.
day.
That's why they said the power that
enough.
once flowed through your island has faded. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Oh my god.
You had to let it
Some
out
of the binaries
eventually.
taking
You know?
notice.
Because that was my impressions that the moon or Ice Moon or whatever it is going to crash on. This is going to give us all the POIs, and now you get this heist and stuff. But like, if you look at the teasers, it looks like a tropical biome to me, like completely
Yeah.
opposite to
Yes,
what
it's
any of
a
us are
beach
theorizing.
because we can see the. Well, no.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
on a
even thinking
coastal
a
area.
desert maybe
I s-
because like
I still see the possibility of it being the whole just mansion pulls up to the island to store stuff, and it's sort of like it's preparing for the eclipse rather than being a result of the eclipse because that just makes more sense in my head, you know.
It just feels
I
like such a
think-
cop out. Like this entire thing's been building to the eclipse. No, we
Yeah,
can't
this
build
story
any more, sure.
is a cop out. It has been for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
was the eclipse just like
I'm the one running the
metaphorically
raw page.
for
Tell me
Jay's
how I'm
like, yeah,
wasting
you're
my time.
not wrong. God.
I'm sorry to
Checkmate.
kill your hopes, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not wrong.
No,
Womp
it's
womp.
the thing is, it's how do I say this, man? Like, okay, we have this eclipse buildup. Just that kind of seemed. Well, I'm not gonna say the eclipse seemed random, right? But like, just this new group now. That has some ties to the moon, and you want us to get invested in this, but there's no. I don't know. It's just there doesn't seem to be any natural correlation between these two things. I think the thing that we need to
explains it.
I think the thing that we need to pay attention. The trailer's not going to explain anything. You know that.
I said hopefully. Hope.
I think we need to. I think the thing that we're going to need to pay attention to is the apparatus when the next season starts. Like, is the apparatus still in the sky, like glowing, or did it like
that's
blow
gonna be
up
gone.
like the?
I reckon that's just gonna.
Yay! Another
Gonna
kinetic
say,
ore machine
the
blew up.
device is destabilizing, and we can't shut it down. Oh no, the shapeless man, who we still don't know the identity of after half a year, is.
I
it's
know.
gotta-
Well, what about the nothing?
It's okay. You still haven't seen Geno in game properly.
You
for
mean the
past 2 years,
antagonist that has
so.
been built up for 5 years?
Jay,
Yeah,
I like you. You have the same
Yeah,
level
on
of
the flip
sensitivity.
side.
Guys, the apparatus is clearly
Making
gonna fall over
friendships.
and shoot down to the 0 point and then bring it up to us, and then the 0 point's gonna be
I can
destabilized.
see that happening. Oh my
I could
god.
too, yeah.
It's gonna
The
fall
visitor
over and
is
do
the
that.
nothing.
Yeah, that's another
Could you
thing. What are they gonna
imagine?
do with it? What are they gonna do with the zero? Bro, there's you know what the problem? Here's the problem. There's so many loose ends with the story right now. Freaking Amy's off doing what God knows what in the last reality, trying to find her baby daddy, the scientist. And then you got the Oathbound that just disappeared. No idea what happened. Sloane's making references to Stellan.
dialogue.
Yeah,
No,
there's
but hold on.
the only problem
Slow-
is Oathbound stuff comes through the NPC stuff, which nobody reads. Nobody's going to know about it, so
Yeah,
there might as
that's
well
No,
be
I'm
nothing.
not being genuine. I know. I'm saying that's
No,
pretty
I
much
know.
all we got. Oh,
It's
okay,
it's
yeah.
just such a
Wait,
it's a
what happened
candle
with
in
the
the wind.
Oathbound? Hold on, I'm confused. Did I miss something else? Not surprised.
Stellan
Okay,
is,
so-
Stellan is like a monster or something.
Yeah,
He
there was
is?
you know, in Oath, well, maybe you don't, but in Oathbound's quest, there was reference to a prophecy about a beautiful monster enabled by the hubris of a champion.
Right.
And then in this season, Sloane had some NPC dialogue with Stellan that said, "I know what you are, even if you don't." And then
Right.
later on in the season, when Lexa was added, there was some dialogue with Stellan as well, saying the sages were right about you, you know. So it made it seem like the prophecy was about him.
God,
And there
this
was
writing's
also a,
top tier.
There was also a survey skin that was shown in that trailer approaching Lexa, which was like this corrupted version of the skin that a lot of people
Yeah,
think
we
to be
theorized it
Stellan.
could have been Stellan, but it's nothing concrete
It
yet.
looks like that
And then
survey
there was
skin.
the Ageless.
But
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
with
Though?
Volpez.
You see all these different storyline beats, and that's not even talking about the eclipse. And now we've got a heist that we have to deal with an eclipse with like a new lunar team that like likes it's. And then you've got the syndicates, right? The syndicates are out there. There's potentially we still haven't seen their leader, who's called X, which is rumored to be Midas. We don't know what's going on with that. Dr. Sloane's hanging out. There's
too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
It's like they need to condense it. It's like I don't see how you're going to take all these plot points and then condense them to have some rewarding payoff and then move us towards an
have, like, a
entirely
massive
new
live
chapter.
event.
They
Well,
just
'cause
need
you're
to
not.
like end it better in their particular seasons, because like both in season 1 and season 2 it was just, oh, okay, that's it, you know.
Yeah, straight up.
They
And
just
they
need
don't
to
answer
They're not
streamline it
anything.
including
better.
anything. It'd be cool to see like the stories continue on, but like
That's
within
exact-
their respective
yeah.
seasons, they need to have some sort of like not
Definitely.
conclusion, but like they need to
But-
close things up and
But
explain it a little
payoff,
bit.
you know?
Yeah,
There needs to
payoff.
be
That's
some-
what I was looking
There needs
for.
to be some reason for you to follow it for those whole 2 months. And it's like what I was saying earlier when saying what I didn't like about season 3 is exactly what you said, Clint. It's like the seasons don't have a flow.
Mhm.
It's like they're tied together through this like super specific thing. Like, oh, well, you need to look at, you know, this season does make sense because this dialogue showed Mega City came to the island and put pressure, and now it's collapsing. It shouldn't be that down to detail.
In fairness, Mega's story was inconsequential. Like, nothing legitimately impacted this season except for maybe the Luminaries at a stretch. The only reason the jungle even appeared was because of the Rift Gate. Mega's Syndicate story just
Yeah,
doesn't.
Yeah,
anything could
exactly.
have come through the Rift Gate to put pressure on the island. That's true.
Precisely.
I'm glad
Well,
you guys
my
are here
goodness,
because
my
I'm
life.
confused. So I'm glad I'm hearing it. Nobody else
See,
is,
here-
that is.
See, here's the thing, man, and this is like I'm thinking about it now from like a content creator perspective. People like Jaykey and like I was watching Squatting Dogs podcast. Like he was talking about the storyline yesterday with his co-host, and everyone who doesn't follow it, like we as like the theorists, we're freaking confused. Like what is going on right now, right?
No,
Like
I
we have
get
no
it.
idea. But like the people that aren't like ultra hardcore theorists, y'all have no idea what is happening right now. And
Yep.
and I was like, when I was listening to Squatting Dog talk, like, he was just absolutely perplexed, right? It's the issue is part of the issue is like the lack of live events. Live events are what's needed to give context to the story, right?
I agree.
Like,
Clear transition between seasons, yes.
and
It's
Yeah.
that in a
I will-
combination with cutscenes at the beginning of the season. That's how like the more casual fan base keeps up. Like there's people around me who only knew the story like from those two things,
Mhm.
and now they're just lost.
That's what most people are basing it off.
Yeah,
Which is the issue with things like comics and these tiny pieces of dialogue that only people who are super invested in it, like myself and like Restro and, you know, but like it's a very small selection of people to tell
Yes.
everyone, hey, this is
Yep.
what's going on. It's like that can't be, if you're trying to tell a good story, which they've already kind of, well, they can save it, but for now it's pretty iffy on the quality of it. It's like you need to have much better execution in the sense that people actually know what's going on. Because it's
Yeah.
really hard
Oh,
to.
sorry.
No, it's no worries. I'm just saying it's hard to follow.
Yeah, what they're
That's the
doing now
NPC
should be
problem.
like a nice addition. They can't be like the entire story. Like the comics would be a very nice addition if they were keeping up like with what they were doing with the live events and like at the beginning of the seasons, the cutscenes, telling the story like how they always have.
Yeah.
The comics wouldn't be a
Comics-
problem if they didn't like switcheroo the story, because 0
Yes.
Point's fine, Foundation's fine, but Zero War just completely like redos the wheel on Resistance's story. It doesn't flow anymore. There's nothing.
Yeah, nah, bro, they were
there's
on the
too many
moon the
conflicting
whole time.
details between like the quest that we got that season and then the Zero War
Exactly.
comics.
That's it. Yeah.
Dude, it's Jay. I gotta
That's
be
the
on that
problem.
pod, man. They're like, holy crap! Like, you just
We're
like
making
the-
friendships
you're-
here, boys.
You're
We
highlighting
are.
certain things. It's like, oh my god, yes, he gets it. But
A
it's-
man of quality.
I'm
There'll
a
be
man
two
of culture.
Jays
I
on one
see.
podcast.
Ugh.
That's-
No, we're replacing. We're new. This is new Jay. We're replacing. I'm just joking.
J2
I
Let's
got-
point.
I get
go!
replaced with Tater and now.
Based, yeah, we're
Fair
Tater's your
enough.
replace. Actually, Cyan's your replacement. Actually,
Come on.
so I'm joking.
For someone that like me though that doesn't
I'd be okay
follow,
if it was Tater.
I don't follow the storyline in depth, obviously, as Clark and Titus you guys do. So when you guys talk about stuff like the NPC dialogue and stuff, see, I don't go that far in depth to it. Where I just like to get stuff
Did you
shoved in
have
my
a life?
face, obviously. So like, for example, I need to see connections through events or through trailers or challenges and quests, where general stuff, we don't really dive too deep into the NPC dialogue and all that. Well, that's where you guys do that and you piece everything together. So for me, I'm just like straight out confused. Like I just see this big eclipse coming to the island, thinking it's gonna be some kind of Crimson Moon season. Next minute, a heist appears. Like,
Jaykey, I'm gonna be honest. I don't even study the NPC dialogue. That much.
Okay,
The only
yeah.
time I even know about it is if like
Blew me
that's
out. Wow.
that's what tedious is for. Like tedious.
That's,
always,
that's what I was
he's
saying before. I'm like,
Tedious
I
is
can't be
always
the
like.
only person.
T's like, oh, bro, it's like, did you hear about the one like Reddit post that like some writer left one time
nah,
3
I'm
years
not.
ago, and a response to this guy's comment about who the secret origins of the Foundation are? And I'm like, no,
I
And it
didn't,
gives,
bring
like,
I didn't just bring this up in conversation.
no, it's not. I'm
randomly.
not saying that, but it's just like you know so much, right? Like you go in depth in a way that you, Rez, Jay, even Cyan, Tater, like you all know how to access the information better than I do. I'm an in-between like a really hardcore theorist and also a casual player, because I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I didn't get into the game. I didn't start because of the story. I didn't study the story until I became a content creator. It wasn't that big of a deal to me. But then when I started getting into it, I'm like, this is kind of interesting. And then the more I got into it, I'm like, wow, this is really convoluted and hard to follow. And like every
Let's
season,
make videos criticizing it.
right, and then like every season, like the more I try to understand it, the more disappointed I find that I get, because it's like it doesn't feel rewarding, because I'm not getting, like, it doesn't pay off. The storyline does not.
no, I agree with that. Titus, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, no worries.
Does the NPC dialogue really impact the development of the story, or is that just being like super finicky to connect small parts?
What it usually is it seems like it will have some sort of influence, and it seems like, for example, what I mentioned earlier about Dahlia, who's just someone working with Triarch Nox that brought like a last reality artifact through the Rift Gate. Probably that will not tie into, the heist thing. I would
Okay.
like to think that it would, but the smaller dialogue throughout a season, it attempts to build up to what's like the ultimate climax, like in this case the heist and the eclipse, but it usually fails with that. But what I'm hoping with this season, they've kept talking about this wealthy collector and these last reality artifacts. That's why I was saying what I was saying about the theory before. But obviously from that I can see, a lot of that you and other people, even Clark as well, has missed the smaller details, because it's very hard to access them. It's very hard to find all this
is.
stuff.
And I would know a lot of that if I didn't watch your guys' content, especially like you, Jay, all of those Fortnite lore people out there, Cyan and that, even though Cyan can go a little bit above and beyond, but I wouldn't know any of this unless I watched the video, and I feel like at some point back in chapter 2, I didn't have to watch any videos to understand the way the story was going. Where
Well, that's
now
the issue.
I have
Yeah,
to.
Yeah.
that's what I was waiting to chime in to actually just say that there was a point even in chapter 2 and chapter 1 where you didn't need to like try to figure things out.
I
The
kind
big
of
problem
find
is
that.
you have to be on Twitter to understand the story at this point, like with all the NPC
Yeah.
interactions and
follow
all the
FN
Well,
Law.
even with the quest dialogue,
go.
I just look it up in a
Shout out.
YouTube video and I'm like, oh cool, like I still enjoy it, but who's gonna do that?
And that's one of the things
yeah,
also
nobody
what's-
is going to go out of their way for
No,
it.
but you need to buy the individual skin and go through every single possibility.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
If you don't
You're
have
clearly not a
certain skins,
dedicated
you're
lore
not going to be
fan.
able to get that dialogue.
Yes, I know.
Precisely.
Right?
If you don't own the Ageless, you never would have got his dialogue with Volpez about eliminating Snowheart and Icy Red Knight. You would not
Yeah,
know
I didn't
about
even
that.
know that.
Wait, excuse me. What?
Who
I didn't
is
even know about this.
Oh my
Volpez?
god, you don't know?
What?
What's
Okay,
this?
right.
Volpez.
Story time, fellas. Buckle up.
My
So
bad.
there was some in
I've been
season 1. There
outplayed,
was
damn.
in season 1 there was a story thread with the icy NPCs that were at Brutal Bastion.
Oh,
So
yes, I
I
do
think
know this.
Snowheart, Icy Red Knight, and I think Frozen Fish Stick. There was dialogue with the Ageless where Fish Stick eyed his armor for weak points. I believe Snowheart said his kingdom would look much better under mountains of ice,
Yeah.
and I can't remember. And then Red Knight said that she'd rather see his kingdom burn than in Snowheart's grip. And then in this season, there was a bit of dialogue with Volpez's NPC with the Ageless. So you wouldn't
I'm
know
gonna be
about
honest,
that if you
I don't
didn't have
know
the
who I
Ageless.
don't even know who Volpez is.
Who's Volpez?
You know the crew bonus skin for like this legacy set.
Oh, the
The,
fox.
The fox guy?
Yeah, him. Yeah, he's a part of
Sorry,
a
that's
small
part of
group
the
of his
lore
own.
now?
Oh my god, dude. You see what
Yeah,
I'm
he's a
saying?
small
Okay.
part of a group.
So it's
So,
too much.
So you're like a whole nother level of
It's so
in depth.
Yeah,
Well,
they need to
Yeah,
bring
he's a
it back
part of
and
this
make
group
it
called
I
the
way
am
more
Winter
impressed.
difficult.
Tricksters, and Volpez is the leader. Like, you would not know about that if you either A, didn't see the NPC, or B, look at the interaction
Well, yes,
list.
but does that matter? Do you see that
it
is
might not,
really
but
going to
with
have any relevance?
probably not.
well, with the Ageless has his frozen sort of icy, snowy concept skin right now, so
That's
it
true.
could factor in. But again, I'm speaking hypothetically.
Maybe.
The
Just
problem
be
is
like a
it's
little
not
background
accessible.
lore.
I kind of, in a sense, do enjoy. Like, I had a stream the other day where we just basically all got together in the chat and sort of figured out with all the small details and pieces all together. I do find stuff like that fun, but as Jaykey said, like, it's an issue when there's only one or two people doing it. Like when there's only one or two people that can actually access it, and you just have to flock to content creators.
Yeah.
Because the game should be the
True.
thing. Me and Restro and Jay and Tater and Cyan and whoever else shouldn't be the ones telling Epic Games' story. Like
Yep.
Yeah.
it's their story, you know. It
That's why
shouldn't.
they need to do the NPC sort of overhaul. So they should really just bring the interactions to the main menu. I don't know why they ever got rid of it from the main menu, but they
Oh,
need
were
the
they
interactions
were
available
they
in game.
in the character booklet?
The
The
in the
dialogue?
they weren't in the character booklet, but obviously you had the NPC booklet in the lobby. So they should bring that back for starters, and they
So
should
you can
bring the
actually go
interactions
to
with
the
it.
NPCs, yeah.
That'd be ideal.
That's one thing I want to ask.
Here-
Is
Oh my bad.
Clen and Toasty, both of you guys? 'Cause I feel like, I mean, Clark, you're not obviously as in depth, but you still have a little bit of knowledge. Clen and Toasty, do you guys know much of it? How do I put this? Are you caught up with the story just from watching Fortnite, or do you feel the need that you have to reach out to other outlets in order to fill in and understand the story, especially in this current chapter?
For this chapter specifically,
Yeah,
I
yep.
absolutely have to go and find it somewhere else.
Yeah, I just have to browse Twitter. I mean, I don't pay attention to it so much outside of the cinematics. I more just, go along with playing. If an event happens, it's like, oh man, that was sick.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just liked it way better when they told the story like it was so linear, like in chapter 1 and chapter 2. Like it was so easy. Like Midas, okay, he's building something. We saw it in the loading screen. It was always right there for us. It was like we didn't have to go find it.
So
Yes.
if you guys didn't watch third-party outlets or the storyline creators, you guys probably, including myself, probably wouldn't know a lot of what's going on within the world of Fortnite at the moment, because I feel like it's so patchy and not pieced together.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
during the first 2 chapters, I feel like loading screens added
That's
a
something
lot
we
to
really
telling
I
the
miss that
story.
so much.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yay, it's
Right
back!
on cue.
Shut up, Glenn.
That was one of my favorite things ever.
I love this
The
now.
We're
It's
loading
like a
not, and it's,
staple of
and
this
it's not gonna
episode.
let you
And
speak.
I got so excited when they did that one loading screen was with Amy, and
Yeah,
I
Amy
was like,
1.0.
yes.
I made a whole, I
was
was
like,
talking
oh
about
my
it like
God,
I made a
it's
whole
back.
video. I was so hyped about it. I was like, they're gonna start telling the story through loading screens again. Like it might not be in the battle pass, but at least like we'll get some every once in a while. That's easy to follow. That's something we can piece together. It's right in front of our face.
Well,
Yeah.
the Lexa Kingdom thing was kind of like that. That was cool. I liked
Yes,
that.
I enjoyed that as well.
Yeah.
I think they should have story loading screens with the crew packs. That would be a good way to do it. Like I
That
like
would
that.
be.
Or
That'd be
they did
There
an-
was a
cutscenes the
little
one
bit of
time.
one.
WT.
Remember the
What
first
were
Shadows? They
those
had
3
cutscenes with the
skins?
crew.
I just
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
the
Oh,
first
it's
one.
so
yeah.
good. I just feel like they need to
Yep.
find some kind of way of telling the story a little bit more
Better.
better, and just like so people can understand it's more in your face. Like example through loading screens, through the crew, whatever they want to do, instead of having to. I'm glad I have to source to other outlets because we're supporting the Fortnite storyline community, but I just would like the story to be a little bit more literal in my face.
Yeah,
I-
like for
Yeah.
example,
true.
rocket being built. Every update, it's a little higher.
Yeah,
It
yep.
you know.
Well, that's
Mhm.
well,
It's
map
simple.
changes is one thing that really destroys that linear story
Mm-hmm.
because it's like in each update you have to go, okay, well, we don't know what's going on because if the apparatus kind of did do that.
There was
It did-
smaller
yeah,
map
but when-
changes
they
this
did it well
season
this
as well
season.
with the
This
explorers.
season, in terms of progressive storyline, actually was pretty good.
I,
Yeah.
Well,
I
this season was
understood it
weird.
slightly more, but this whole apparatus with the moon and their heist just confuses the crap out of me.
Well, the end
Oh,
of
don't
it
even get
does,
me
but I'm
started on the
saying-
lab reports and the audio logs. That is a pain in the ass.
And
Yeah,
the order
where
of
are
it doesn't
they?
make any sense.
It's
Because
the
I
fact
never
that you
have
have to.
one.
There's no quests for them, so you don't know where they are. So you have to go out and find them.
That
You don't know
pissed
where
me
they
off,
are.
yeah.
Like,
And
Which is another thing you
then
need
you're finding them
creators
out of
for.
order, so like you're not even getting the right context,
Yeah.
right?
there's
So-
no
I
clues.
cannot
Like you
imagine
find one
making
in Brutal
content on that.
Bastion. Why would you go there for one?
Well, literally,
it's
no
just
one, no one knows the order. No one ever will ever know the order. Like Sloane could have been talking about the person she was, like not wanting to hire or hesitant to hire to the
Yeah.
job way before.
Like, the
we
other-
don't know.
The other day for me, I was literally playing and I picked up one audio log and it was from like week 1 and I was so confused what was going on. I'm like, what the hell? Like, it just.
I pick them up by accident all the time too.
So, yeah,
Like I said, I just watch it in a YouTube video.
Yeah.
I don't want to go through the whole game picking up like audio logs.
It's
And
The
Optimus
first
Prime's
time,
radio
it was
just-
really
Streams
fun.
doing the
what
quest.
happened to that?
Wait, what happened to what?
Optimus Prime over the radio. That just came and went.
Oh,
Nobody's
he's
got
fine.
any
nothing got
ghosts
him.
on
He
that
went back
anymore.
to. He went.
Yeah.
No, no.
He got the message clear.
Don't say
Reality's
that.
doomed.
He's dead,
He went
Clark.
back to.
Oh, is it really?
He went back to
Or is it
Cybertron.
doomed
Don't
to
say
collapse?
that.
He came, he
He-
saw, he gave a message and left.
Yeah, Prime's got leader of the Autobot shit to do, okay, bro? He can't mess around with the Fortnite island.
He's like,
okay?
this island's in
responsible
trouble.
for
I'm not
saving
helping.
this
Just took
airplane.
off.
Deuces.
I'm here to warn
He
you.
knows
this
his
is
pay
not-
grade,
go back
this
to
isn't his
that.
job.
No, you
in
got it.
October.
This island's
With
screwed,
the
so
pack.
you better figure something out because
Yeah. Look
But
to
you
the
got the
one
seven
you
for
call
this, it's not my
Sloan.
business.
See ya.
Not-
it's like there's a big ship in the
Thanks,
sky.
Glenn. Yeah, Sloan's got you. I'm out.
Yeah, doesn't know anything else that happened.
That's literally the gist of it. Oh god. You know, this is one thing I wanted to say real quick because I always make this comparison in my brain. I feel like Fortnite failed where Five Nights at Freddy's succeeded. Like
Mhm.
Five Nights at Freddy's, it had very cryptic dialogue. It had like a huge mystery element to it. People were very intrigued by its story, and quite frankly, you need content creators like Matt Pat to be able to fully understand it, right? But at least it feels like with FNAF, there's a clear like set path that they're trying to lead you down. Fortnite after chapter 2 got so disjointed, it just made it impossible for the average person to follow. And even though, and here's the thing, right? I want you to think about this. For Fortnite, like there's a good handful of Fortnite theory or Fortnite storyline content creators. Look at the kind of views that we get compared to the kind of views that the FNAF content creators get. It's not even close. It's not even comparable, which means Fortnite's core fan base does not care enough about the story or does not think the story is relevant enough to actually be interested enough to look it up like the FNAF
Agreed.
fan base does. I guess you could argue that the games are inherently different because one's a BR and then one's like a horror-based game, which is trying to lead you down a specific path through the gameplay. However, Fortnite used to do a really good job of doing that through a BR, and I just feel like they've lost that. I don't know.
I think that just having the game fun is the most important thing. Like
Agreed.
way more than the storyline.
To be fair, I'm
Yeah,
glad you
I'm on
brought
that
up
page.
FNAF because I was watching Matt Pat made some comments about Fortnite's storyline. I think it was like a few weeks ago, and he was saying that it's just too much to keep up with. It's always moving forward, so there's no time to go back to stuff, and it's a full-time job to keep up with the lore,
It
which is
is,
saying
yeah.
something from somebody who's up with FNAF lore. It's wow.
He probably watched all of our videos. Was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, this isn't for me.
I'm not doing. I don't
I'm
know who this
excited.
tedious guy is, but I'm not.
I'm out.
I'm not there for
So to
it.
summarize, basically, it's just the lore's all over the place at the moment. There's nothing consistently carrying it on to the next story. There's so many loose ends, and it's just
Yeah.
I have a
I
good
hate it.
feeling about how
I
next
hate
season
you.
though. I don't know why. I just do. I like the way they've been handling it. It seems like it's
agree,
been
Clint.
like they used to in the whole days. So I was talking about this with Clark. My expectations are completely in check. Like I understand they could just drop it all, but I just have a good feeling with this one.
I agree. And
Yeah,
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
have to agree with.
I think we just got to hold
general
out hope,
rule of
really.
thumb.
Your little
If
pussy
if
belongs
you always
to
set
me.
your expect
What?
Wait, what? Excuse me?
Purex.
Purex, I did not have that muted.
Hello?
It's the new audio log.
Purex, why are you like this?
Bro,
First you don't
my
want the new
internet just
teasing.
went out mid podcast,
Oh my
dude.
God.
What the fuck?
You and played an emote when you came back. Why?
And I did not
Did
have that
I?
muted. I did not have that muted.
It's a Discord thing. It does that now.
Unbelievable.
I don't know what I was
Purex,
expecting, but it wasn't that.
Oh,
Purex,
God.
That was
you've
not
ruined
muted for me.
you've ruined the
I'm
entire
sorry.
pod.
Jake, cut
we
that
not
out.
on a
Cut that
roll,
out,
man.
please.
I don't know if I can.
Mentions Dr. Sloan.
No,
drops that.
keep it in.
And demonetized.
We're just keeping that in.
This can go. This
That
can go in
was-
the DVD
that was
extras.
Optimus Prime.
If it's
Oh.
funny, then yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
God,
We're just
it
talking
was
to see
just
that.
very out
it
of
was funny.
place. It was very
Just random.
Oh, anyway, I
Sorry
think
about
we need to
that,
try and
guys.
start wrapping things up a little bit because we're doing really
Oh
well.
God, yeah,
I
we're on
I
to
love it.
2 hours.
But one
Oh,
thing,
wow,
one
yeah.
thing before we end, I do want to quickly touch base on is some of the new weapons that they teased in the teasers. Because some of these new weapons and items look friggin' sick.
They look really fun.
Yeah.
I love
Yes.
the case one.
That's what I was about
Yeah,
to say.
I want
yeah,
the turret.
briefcase turret. What do you guys think about that? That looks sick.
That looks
Genius.
sick.
I want it.
Or the
Yeah, it looks so cool.
like the massive minigun, machine gun looking thing. That's sick. I don't know what it is.
The rocket
but-
ram.
Oh my bad. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's rocket launcher.
Yeah, I accidentally called that an RPG in a tweet that I made, so I had to delete it real
Oh.
quick.
Hey, dude,
I
you're
saw
not as bad as
rocket
me.
and I just
made it-
jumped to
I called it the
conclusions.
rocket ramp. Somehow I put a P at the end of it, and I thought it was gonna like
Right.
deploy ramps, and I made a whole video on it on TikTok
Deploy-
yesterday.
Deploy
Hell,
ramps.
funny.
What for cars to drive on or something?
I thought it was gonna be like a zero build item where like you just deploy a ramp to get up places and maybe
Oh,
shoot it at somebody.
That's
I
true,
I
that'd
think it's
be
like
useful.
the anvil
Random.
launcher, honestly.
What do you guys think of the heist bag? Like, do you think it's gonna be a tent or like?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna-
Wait, what?
I think it could be in,
I
like the
missed that
reality
one,
tree,
sorry.
the little ones in Vibing. Maybe. Oh, I don't know. It could be like the tent.
Tent had Tent had
That
so
one I have a
many
pretty cool idea.
bugs.
I love the 10. I don't know why.
What do you
it's
say,
not.
Toy Store?
Tent had a lot of bugs. Like it was getting disabled
Yeah.
once a week because of
Uh,
just how many issues it was causing. So it makes me hesitant
yeah.
to say that they would add it back.
Okay,
I
can I
have an
ask you
idea
guys something
for
about the tents?
storing. Go ahead.
I've always never wanted them to come back, but I don't know if anybody else experiences this, okay? My teammates, like the people that I usually play with, would just, if there was big trouble in a fight, they would go and stash their weapons in a tent because they just knew we were going to die, and then that ruined the whole fight. Did that happen to anybody else? That's why I don't want them back.
Mm.
Yeah, that
Nah,
always
that never
happens,
happened to me.
Oh my god.
I would just put stuff in the tent and not want to take it out because it's like an exotic. I'm like, well, I don't really
I had the
need
same
it.
thing.
I'm just
I was a
like, man,
hoarder.
I'm gonna die this game.
I can't remember what it was. I kept something in my tent that got vaulted, and I was like, ah, it's in my tent. I don't remember what it was, though.
I
And you're,
did
like, too afraid to
Gunner's
take it out?
SMG, but it stayed in.
Yeah,
That
I
was
wish
the
I could
thing. Like
remember.
the tents, like if a weapon got removed, right, for an update, but you had put it in your tent, it would still be there after the update in your tent.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
You know
Which
what
is
I'm
what was so
hoping?
crazy.
I'm hoping the like
It was an egg launcher, I think. That's what I kept.
Oh.
But then I got sad because there was no rockets. It was a rocket weapon, and then I couldn't. There was no ammo on the map with rockets.
Oh yeah, I think I managed to use that after the update, but then it like disappeared out of my inventory. It was really buggy. How the way that worked.
Well, because that's not meant to happen. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I have an idea
I
for
wonder
what the
if it's a
bag
chest.
could do.
Yeah, Purex?
Oh, right.
I feel so we had the tents where we could store extra items, right? What if the bag is like one that you can carry with you and have extra inventory slots? So you
That'd
open
be
it up
awesome.
and you can like
Ooh.
you could put extra heals in there, extra weapons, and then you could switch them out to your actual inventory.
That'd be cool.
That'd be
I
awesome.
like
Nice.
that.
Yeah, I
That'd
like
be
Yeah,
really
What,
like
nice.
an extra
Like how
backpack.
it works in like Minecraft or whatever. where
Yeah,
you get the
exactly,
inventory
Yeah.
like
and the-
Minecraft. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I would love that. That'd be
Yeah,
way
where you
better
can,
than
like,
the tent.
stash
I
it.
don't. Instead of keeping it through like until the next game,
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
would like
yeah,
that way
exactly.
better.
It's more,
Yeah,
you can
just
utilize
extra
more
slots.
items. Yeah. That'd be cool.
100%.
Because you got another new item like the, what is it? The Shield Breaker EMP. That looks
Yeah, I
cool.
don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh.
I saw
I'm
you
so
talking about that
excited for
today, Clark, a little bit. Was it today in your live stream you're talking about it a bit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think it's gonna shake
I
up
was
the
lurking.
zero build meta, which is what it needs.
Oh yeah, that might be just what it's for. I wouldn't think about it being like
Yeah, it
zero
might
build
be zero
exclusive.
build exclusive. Yeah.
That would be nice.
I had
Is
a
that
I mean,
are
I
there two
play
different
exclusive and
loadouts
zero
or
build.
no?
I hope I can do it to my teammates.
So there's two ways I could take this item. Is number one, either you chuck it, it either breaks your over shield in zero build or breaks your shield in builds, and then it disables you being able to gain shield for like a minute or two. There was another thing I also thought was, which doesn't make sense because I was talking to Purex about it, because it's kind of like an item with an item, is the shield bubbles will return and that will disintegrate the shield bubbles to prevent you from like having the
That's
extra
what I
shield. But
Huh.
that's kind of using an item on
Um,
an item, so it might not. fully
Yeah,
work
I don't
out.
know how I feel about that one.
The way think of it like this, I'm thinking it's gonna work like a stink bomb, but for shields. That's how my brain is processing.
Okay,
it.
yep.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I guess so. I
Yeah.
That
guess
makes
that could
sense.
work.
Yeah.
so instead of it
Also with
attacking
the
your
decreased
HP, it's gonna
movement.
attack your shield. But
Yeah, no, that makes the most sense.
Actually, I think it does.
Mm. Why are you so logical?
Well-
God,
Why do you have to
Sorry, man.
actually be smart, man? Come on.
he's too smart.
I'll
And-
leave now. My apologies.
Please do. No, I'm kidding.
Excuse me.
I just hope all these selected weapons we can end up using.
Yeah, and then we got
I'm
Midas's
sure.
drum
I think
gun
it'll probably
too,
be
this
like
returning.
weekly unbolts.
That might be
probably how
why they're
Oh.
introducing the duffel bag,
Oh.
so you can
Be Onky.
Yes.
Again?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we can like
Ah, you're right,
carry more
awesome.
items. That might be why they're introducing the duffel bag, like you guys are saying. Like you have those extra inventory slots, so you can just like fill up your Duffy.
Who said
And just,
weekly
like-
unvolts? That's a brilliant
Yeah, I
idea.
know. That's
love
what
it.
I like.
That would be exciting.
I mean, there's lots of items
But
in the
Jay, you're
files
just
that are coming back, like all the exotics
fire,
from
man.
previous
That's-
seasons.
My
that's what
genius
I'm
is
thinking,
terrifying.
like-
Mm.
No, I want all the NPCs back on the map. Tiantina, Brutus, whoever else is leaked. I
No,
want them all on the
imagine
map. That'd be so
they should
awesome.
also add. Was it? I thought of something, and then I'm pretty sure Clint said it in his video as well, that they should maybe use the heat mechanics next season. Like they'll add them back.
Yes.
Ooh,
And then that
Yeah.
was
yeah.
like a
That'd be
test.
really
Or was
good.
that in
Jeez.
Clen's video? I can't remember. But
No, it wasn't me.
oh,
I think it was
okay,
Clark.
probably was.
Was
I
it
think it was
Clark?
Clark.
I heard it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said it in stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple times, but yeah, it was. I'm
Yeah, no,
thinking that's
I had
what-
that same thought that it was like the most wanted event was like a tester for that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Oh,
could be
I have
good.
touched on that. I've heard people talking about that, like for
Yeah,
the most
so
wanted
I'm
actually being
I'm
a
pretty
test. but-
sure it was you.
We
I
talked
think.
about it. Clint and I talked about that together on the pod. Is what it was.
I haven't watched the pod, but I've watched.
On Oh, you didn't? Okay.
Wow.
Not
Wow.
yet, but I.
Wow,
How
wow,
dare
wow.
you, dude.
Imagine being like that, not watching it. Like,
Yeah,
bro.
imagine not watching it. Man.
Yeah.
I need.
It's just not on.
Shut up, tedious.
Into the 0 point.
And we're
Into
not
the
setting
0
it to any
point.
reality either. You're gonna get scattered.
Into a million- into
a million
realities you go.
It's all good.
But yeah,
Oh, man.
that's pretty much it, guys. In terms of, and just one thing I'm going to throw in here real quick is a bit of a transition over is Clark is going to have a podcast. Is it tomorrow, Clark, at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Eastern time.
Eastern? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to know anything more about lore and stuff like that and dive into all that good stuff, go watch Clark's 0 Point podcast because that is really good as well. So and you've got a good panel, don't you, Clark? If you want to say something about it, you're more than welcome to just plug it a bit.
Yeah, it'll be basically all the theorists minus tedious because we don't need it. No, I'm just joking. It'll be me, Cyan, Restro, Mr. JOY, and then Tater Pie from YouTube. So it's gonna be, like I said, 6 p.m. Eastern time. It's gonna be fun. Let's get as many people in as we can, man. We had 550 in the last one with Clen, and him, Happy Power, and Dag when we knocked it out the park. They were amazing. I was so happy to have them on. But yeah, we're gonna see if we can match the same energy tomorrow. So come through, and I
Nice.
appreciate you plugging that.
Let's hope it does
Jake.
better.
That's
That's
so good,
awesome.
dude. You deserve it. I love it.
And I have been listening to both your podcasts at work. It's been getting me through. I love them.
Oh, cheers, dude. Like
I
that's.
I'm not.
I've
I
been
swear.
listening to Clark's as
It's-
well. At
That's
work,
way too
and I
nice,
love it.
bro.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Bro, please don't feed my ego anymore. Just stop.
Yeah, man.
I'm too good, bro.
He's already got enough, Glenn. You don't
what's
need to keep doing it.
All right, no, I just listen to Jakey's.
Based.
Yeah, good.
That's
Good
better.
job.
That's a
Nice
better
work.
choice.
Good
honestly.
job. Yeah. Watch the better one.
But
I don't know
as-
about this one though, because Clark's on it.
Yeah. Who's Clark again?
Just exclude. He's like some small create. Like he thinks to know about the law or something.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
No, I don't. That's why I have you for tedious. Okay, I don't even pretend. Let's.
He's
What do you
like-
think?
It's like I know nothing, but we'll just use this kid over here to tell me what's going
Like,
on.
hey, Tedious, tell me everything you know about the last reality. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna make a video about it and put it out
And
as my
just
own
steal
idea.
it. Yep.
W. Every
That was a
theory video
real.
is
That
actually
was a real experience, by the way. That's.
But I can see that.
We
I
got some
think
beef here, guys.
I think Clen's alarm went off again because I just saw him mute in the Discord.
I'm here.
But they're
Man,
really.
I'm
out to
so
get you,
sorry about
man.
that. For
No,
real.
that's
I'm
funny.
So
I
I don't
sorry.
It
apologize.
made a
it's
bit of
completely fine.
made it unique and a bit of spice in the podcast.
Yeah, I-
Bring
Yeah,
it,
it's
fine, it's
bring
fun,
it back
it's
to the
fun.
next
I
one.
found it funny because
We
I
need
can't
it.
say anything. I'm listening to this like giant alarm while everybody's laughing especially when I got cut off the first time. That was hilarious.
But I do want to say thank you everybody for tuning in. So Jay, Clark, Clen, Purex, Tedious, Toaster, Ben, all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. For
Yeah,
this
thanks
big
so much for having us.
supersized
Thank you.
Thanks for
episode.
having
I was
us.
honored to be back.
Huh.
And as
Been great to have.
always, we're going to do a shout out. So we're going to move down the line. And if you guys want to plug, shout out anyone, just go for it. I don't care how much you want to do it, how much you want to plug, how much you want to shout out, just go for it. That's sort of the time that you can use this for. So Ben, do you have any shout outs or plugs or?
Not really, but I would like to just shout out my own video that I posted the other day. Yeah, that's about it.
What's it about for the people that are listening, Ben? Your video.
How to Train Your Dragon X Fortnite trailer that I animated.
Oh,
Wait,
that's
that
sick.
was a banger. That was awesome.
So
Oh, I
good.
It
love
was
that.
very well done.
I
Thank
love How
you.
to Train Your Dragon.
Jay, what about you, dude?
Oh.
And just before you say
Well-
something, Jay, sorry, I just want to say thank you to you because I've never spoken to you or really met you too much. So for you to be able to come on this, and I know you were a bit nervous at the start, it was an honor. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been really nice talking to you all. I'll say that. I'm only really on Twitter, so I'm FN approved law over there. It's not like you guys you're everywhere, but yeah, that's where you can find me. I'd have to give a shout out to the Raging Reaper. He's been with me for
Yeah.
since I was really
He's
small
awesome.
in
I was
the
going to get him on
Warsphere.
here, but he had
And-
school, so he couldn't.
Yeah, he was
It's
telling
like
me,
me with
we've got to
zero
go on
point
at some point together. But yeah, he's been really great to me, and he's had some really good theories, really great content creator all around. So I'd have to shout out him.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me back on, bro. It's been an honor to be on for a second time. You run an amazing podcast.
I love having
so
you on,
shout out
dude.
to you. But I want to give a shout out to Mr. JOY. He's another amazing Fortnite theorist. I think you should definitely have him on at some point as well. He takes a very methodical approach
He does.
to Fortnite storyline and Fortnite theories.
I originally
I also
asked
wanna
him,
get-
but he was busy as well. So I did reach out to quite a lot.
Wow.
He just shut me down, bro.
Well, yeah, like you shot me down for my pod. I'm crazy.
I'm sorry,
sure.
man.
No, and then one other
Jaykey
shout out.
exposed?
Random Shivos. I've been talking to him
Oh,
quite a
he's
bit.
Really nice, yeah.
He's a very nice gentleman. He makes a lot of Fortnite animations. He's been doing a lot of work on YouTube and he's been posting some stuff on Twitter. He's really good. So I want to give a shout out to him. He might be somebody you might consider to bring on at some point in the future as well.
That'd be cool.
That'd be an
Um,
interesting, yeah. Episode.
Yeah, having a lot of get an episode where you have a lot of animators.
If you could
on,
get
I
like
think that would be kinda
Pharrell's, that would be awesome.
I'm trying to get a hold of him
Ooh.
too, bro. I'm trying to.
I know.
But I don't know if he has a Discord or anything. But if he hears this, bro, contact me, please.
Black's
Yeah, those
desperately
are my
wants you.
shout-outs.
Awesome. What about you, Clen? I know it's going to be a bit hard with the beeping.
He's on
No,
mute,
I'm
yeah.
good.
Oh, you're
I'm good. That was perfect timing. It just ended. So I sincerely apologize about that. I was about the few times that I had to get cut off. But honestly, thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute blast. If you ever want to talk again, I'd be very, very down for it. For talking about shoutouts, very, very small creator, underrated. I want to talk about PBJ. You guys got to go
Oh,
check them
yeah.
out. If you like live event stuff, if you like storyline content, like those little secrets, very, very like nice, quick, bite-sized videos that like you can
Ooh,
watch
okay.
anytime. I love his content. The editing's fantastic. He's great. But for the rest of you, all of you, it was very, very nice meeting you. For those who I haven't spoke to before, Jaykey, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem, bro. Thank you for being on. It was great because I've seen a lot of your content around, and I watch a lot of your videos. And I remember the first video I saw were you. It was you praising Akko, and I love that video so
Oh,
much.
no way.
That's when I first
Yeah,
saw
that
you.
guy's awesome.
Yeah,
I love Akko. He's great.
because Akko was like one of the first people I met that introduced me to this community. So when I
That's
saw that
amazing.
video, I was like, it was really cool to see. So that's when I first met you. But yeah, it was great finally meeting you and talking to you and stuff. So thank you for being on.
Oh, thank you. I'd love to be back if you. And I'm moving into a house next week, so I can guarantee
Ooh,
no
congrats.
interruptions.
Yeah.
I'll be the cheesy one and say shout out to all of you guys for being here.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, man,
wholesome.
it was nice having you guys here. It was a lot of fun. Probably my favorite episode so far. But
I don't play
thank you
favorites,
guys
but
for
for
being
me it
here.
was
made
too.
all along.
I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you.
Again, as everyone said, thank you very much for having me. It's been really, really fun. What, almost 2 hours now? But
This was originally planned for an hour, but you know we had too much fun, so
I had a feeling it would roll on
yeah.
a little longer than planned. Yeah, I think who would I give a shout to? Probably Tater. She's been pretty much most of while I've been doing theories. I can't exactly remember how I got in contact with her, but I think it's been she's a very good creator, underrated. That's pretty much it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me. I know everyone else said it, but greatly appreciate Jaykey, Purex, Benderaka. You guys are amazing, phenomenal.
Oh, I'm
For
crying.
shout out.
Bring
Just
out
make a
the
grown
guys are
man
the
cry.
best. So for my shout out, I want to give it to Lilith Snail.
Yeah, Snail.
She's a hilarious content creator. Her videos are so good, so she definitely deserves like everything. So yeah.
It was great having Snail on the podcast too. Like she's so wholesome and just oh man, I love her.
I enjoyed that one.
She's awesome. But
Fun.
yeah, you guys have any final things you want to say, or are you pretty much all good?
I'm hyped for next season.
I guess
I'm hyped for this
just that
podcast.
I have no clue what's going to happen.
Yeah, so hopefully
Absolutely brain dead.
because this is going up tomorrow, so you guys might have seen an extra teaser or maybe a little trailer if they drop a snippet or something. But hopefully, when people listen to this, hopefully there's no leaks, nothing that happened after this is posted. That, but
Just
you never
disprove
know.
half the stuff we
yeah,
said.
yeah.
We're in space.
Anything's possible, honestly. Like, I'm just so grateful that this season hasn't been leaked because we've gone in completely blind. So it's just that surprise element, and I love it. It's sort of hyped it up a
It's
lot
so
more.
nice.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
We say this and it's gonna get leaked like in 10 minutes and then the entire
Watch,
battle
imagine.
pass is out there.
Tomorrow we'll wake up, it'll be trailer, full battle pass,
Yeah,
the entire
we got
map,
everything.
end of chapter. There's a whole video, the Lego updates.
Let's not jinx it, guys. Come on.
Well, dude, you know what? It really could happen. Like, it might not be a bad idea to get this out ASAP.
True. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get that
Fortnite
tomorrow.
Poland just says hold my beer and then everything's out.
Yeah, we don't want another chapter 3 season 1 leak from Poland. So
Oh,
Oh, that was miserable. The ending to the event, man.
Oof.
I know.
the ending to the event and also the whole battle pass trailer, like into the new season, like they stuffed up big time.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh.
To be
I
fair-
saw that end event one when I was scrolling on TikTok, and then I tried so hard to
Yeah.
convince myself that I didn't see it.
Yep.
I was
yep.
like,
I
no, that
tried-
could have been.
I-
Somebody could have made that.
I did the same thing. I was like, that might not be real.
Yeah.
You know.
To be fair, nothing beats Chapter 2's map being leaked like months in advance and us
Oh
all
my
being
God,
like,
yeah.
I
that's
thought it
not
looked like
real.
shit.
That's
Like
why
I
it was
hated
real.
it, and then
That's so funny though.
I saw it and I was
love
like, oh,
that.
this thing looks crap, and I was like, can't be. It's just like Pleasant Park's back and all these other POIs. I'm like, nah, it can't be. Nope, I was wrong.
You guys
It's like a
remember-
poorly made concept.
Mm.
Do you guys remember that map that got leaked? I think it was for Chapter 3. Well, like it wasn't the actual map, but the one everybody was convinced was real.
Yes.
You guys know what I'm talking about? I would still love to have that map.
I think I
don't
know which
know.
one you're
I don't
talking
know, I
about.
guess.
Was it a
I forgot
concept
which
that
one.
someone made and they thought it was real?
It was
Well,
I
Oldmire,
don't
think.
know if like anybody claimed it. I remember everybody was talking about it. Like everybody was making videos on this one map because like everybody thought it was the real map being leaked.
I'm pretty sure it's by. There's a guy on Twitter called Ed Meyer who I've seen post.
Yeah,
about
that's it. That's it.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. And it had like, oh, I can't even describe it. Was it like a big
Had some
mountain
old
in the middle and
POIs.
some old POIs?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a concept
would
by that
still
guy
love
that
that map.
Tidia said. That would be cool. But yeah, thank you guys so much again. I better wrap it up because we're hitting up the 2 hour mark. Thank you guys so much for listening. Subscribe, turn notifications on, do all that good stuff. Everybody's links will be down below in the description as well. So if you want to go see the 0 Point Podcast, Clan stuff, Toaster, and all that good stuff, just go click on their links and it will be connected and stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.